Hello and welcome to the Destiny Community Podcast, episode number 85. It has been a wild, wild week with Warmind out and having Spire of Stars being released. And we have two amazing guests with us this week. We got Glad and Modern Tryhard from Clan Redeem. You guys are the number one team to knock out the raid. So thank you for being on the podcast this week, guys. I'm going to pass it over to Pope.
Over to you,
Pope. Let's go.
That's never going to get old.
No, but really, congratulations, guys.
Seriously.
That is a feat that any team could be happy to accomplish. But you guys have seemed to have done it multiple times.
Yeah, this time
not
more
just
than
once.
This time it was harder than most. I mean, when you guys finished it, I mean, by the end of the day after it was released, there was like 25 teams worldwide who had finished it at all. Being the first among those.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It might have been
not
that,
unique
not that
teams.
many.
No, I think it was like 16 or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like less than 15 for sure. But
yeah.
Wow. So let me ask you, because I think there's a lot of raid teams out there that are really curious about there's a lot of questions that come up when you look at a raid team that is able to consistently perform at a high level. What goes into making up a successful raid team? One of the things, and I want you to answer this in a way that, like, one of the things that you brought up, Glad, is I mentioned you as a team leader, and you were quick to tell me that there was no team leader. Could you explain like what goes into constructing, Clan Redeem?
yeah, so I think one of the big things is we play together a lot. I mean, Modern and I probably play together as a single duo more than any two people on the team, at least for right now. But we do play together a lot, and it's funny because a lot of the criticism that we get from some of our World's First videos is people complaining about us yelling at each other and being hard on each other and sort of being aggressive. But really, it's kind of like when you have best friends, you give them a hard time. You let them know if they're being stupid, if they're doing something wrong. And we're not really being negative. We're just sort of putting a lot of pressure on each other because we know that we can redeem ourselves if we do something wrong. So I think that is a really big factor, is the fact that we all play together, and because of that, we know how we all work. We know how to criticize each other, and I definitely think that that's a big thing. I know Modern probably knows a little bit more about how our clan was actually formed back in the beginning, because I joined after him. So I would definitely let him tell you a little bit about how we formed.
It would say around a little bit after 1.4, 1.2. We came together as a group because back then I was friends with Tifu, and then because of that I was able to join the legend himself, which is Slayer's clan. And after joining his clan, I was able to form, a group of guys who just wanted to kick ass and speedrun stuff and stuff like that. So we were able to put together a team, and we called ourselves Redeem, and that's kind of where it all started. And then we just moved on from there. Picked up Glad.
How did you find so it was a constructed clan with a purpose?
Yeah.
So how did you find each other? Is it like, did you just troll LFG, or what how did you find everybody to come together?
Mostly it was just Twitch chats from like people's communities and stuff like that. Mostly
So
Slayers.
You guys invited specific people.
We just it was mostly people who were that we played with a lot, like people that we connected really well with, people who were people that I don't know, just people that we could connect with, really. Like, obviously there's people that are good and there's people that are better than us, but it's the people that we know the best, and just the friendship
chemistry
is there.
was a huge
Yeah,
piece.
the chemistry, yeah.
For sure.
Chemistry.
Wow. Yeah. So go ahead.
I was going to say, a lot of a big question that I get asked a lot on stream is how do I join Redeem? How do I join a clan? I really like the stuff that you guys do. What do I do? How can I join you guys? And there really is, for clans like this, there's no tryout process. There's no anything like that. the biggest answer that I give to people that are really interested in this type of stuff and really enjoy speed runs and challenges and solo challenges and want to compete for these high level PvE activities is just be a big known presence in the community. So show yourself in Twitch chats, offer your opinions. If there's opportunities where maybe somebody like us or Slayer or somebody opens up their fire team for raids, get in those raids. Just show your presence. Let them know that these are the type of people that I'm interested in, and try to just let your presence be known. And that's pretty much what we did. That's what I did, and I was found. I'm gonna guess through Modern and Tfue. I don't know. I know Tfue just randomly hit me up one day and was like, "Yo." So I was always a fan of Tfue and I was always a fan of Slayer. They were the two that I really watched. And he hits me up one day and he invites me to a party chat. Never spoke to him in my life. And he's like, "Yo, you got a Titan?" And I was like, I got the best Titan. He's like, "Let's go. We're 2-man and Oryx on Titans right now." And I was like, "What?" So he's like, "Yeah, join me." And I'm like, "Okay, this is amazing. Like, I love Tfue." So I joined and we messed around with some strats. And then he was like, "All right, I'll talk to you later." And he leaves the party. And then I get an invite from him about like 8 hours later. And I join and it's just the whole Redeem crew in a party. And I was like, "Oh God, why are these guys in here?" And Modern knows what I'm going to say. And TV goes, "So what do you guys think? You want to get Glad into Redeem?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, I mean, he does all this cool stuff." And then Modern just like, "Man, I don't know. I don't want any of that rock band Crota drum shit in here." Immediately.
Oh,
Immediately.
man.
But yeah,
So-
that's
Immediately.
So there's some. You guys have 3 world firsts on under your belt, right? One of them had a little bit of controversy behind it.
for sure.
Can you explain what happened?
So basically, I'm going to try to not sound biased on it because I don't think that's the right approach to take.
People had there was a lot of opinions about it, and I just want to get that out up front because I think that you have a legit 3 wins from my perspective. But I
do too. So all of the high level competitors that were going for World's First for that raid
Which
knew
raid
that the Prestige Leviathan,
Cool.
because when Leviathan came out, this wasn't common knowledge yet because a lot of people hadn't had Coil, and there was a big Reddit post on Reddit which I saw and it was hugely upvoted, and then it was just kind of common knowledge over the next couple of weeks that the Coil ammo system was bugged, and there were all these YouTube videos that were produced on it, and it just kind of became part of the game. It was sort of like the sleeper glitch when you had a sword out and you would switch to sleeper, you would get full sleeper ammo in Destiny 1. Just everyone kind of knew about it, everyone kind of did it, and we knew going into the raid that all of our top teams were going to use it. So the way that we saw it was, if we didn't want to not use it because we knew everybody else was using it, and the ammo economy in Destiny 2 is already kind of flawed anyway.
Mhm.
And so we honestly didn't think anything of it. We went into the raid and we just saw, like, if there were heavy packs laying on the ground, we just casually like, "All right, guys, make sure you guys switch to Coil, pick up the heavy pack, and then get to the next encounter. We'll see what it is, and we'll switch to whatever heavy we need." We didn't really think anything of it. And I think that people saw a clip from it and saw that we said glitch, clipped us saying glitch and doing it, and then blew it up on Twitter and said Redeem's using glitches. They're even using the term glitch. And then other people came and they saw glitch and they looked at it and didn't exactly know what we were doing. And it just got really, 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 really blown out of proportion. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if Modern has anything to say.
Nah, you explained it perfectly.
I think that what I saw was a lot of teams having that knowledge, a lot of the top teams having that knowledge, and you guys utilizing it to good effect. And so when I look at your completions, I see you guys taking the most effective PvE strategies and putting them in play.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to argue that that's not an effective PvE strategy.
and
You're
the
not
thing
you're not
is-
pulling your cable out of the wall. That's
Exactly.
where I draw the line. I
Yeah,
mean, like,
you're not pulling the cable. You're not like altering code. You're not doing memory hacks or anything like that. Like it's in the sandbox. It just happens to be
Right.
that that's the way it was. And yeah, it's I don't think it was something that calls for nullifying a win or anything like that because it's a
Right.
sandbox thing.
and Bungie acknowledged it as a world first, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
they did.
I would
And-
say the only time that would be an issue if Bungie was like beforehand, if you use this, it's not gonna count. But Bungie didn't say
Exactly.
anything
Yeah.
beforehand, so
Bungie specifically mentioned the no ad spawn glitch in the boss room.
Right.
They said if anybody is caught using this, your world's first will be nullified.
Yep.
And we made sure that we did not do any emo glitches, any ad spawn glitches, nothing that would void us of world's first. We were very clear. We talked about that beforehand. We said make sure that you're not doing anything stupid that is going to rip us of a world's first title.
Well, let's put that away because I wanted to get that out right up front.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
So the three that you walk us through the three world's first and maybe rank them in like difficulty in preparation for them and
What were the three worlds first?
yeah.
Wrath of Machine normal mode, Leviathan Prestige, and Spire Stars. Right there.
How would you rank them modern, like as difficulty in getting ready for them or
preparation and execution.
yeah.
I would say Spire Stars definitely would be number one. And then second would be Wrath of Machine, and then third Prestige Leviathan. I would put Prestige Leviathan last just because it's the Prestige version of the normal raid. So you already know what you're going to expect. You're just looking for those like minor tweaks that they're putting in and stuff like that.
Right.
What light level were you guys when you got into Spire Stars?
What was there?
think I-
360?
I think I was 373 or 372 or something like that. I don't know what you were.
I know we had one person that was 360 or maybe even 359. I'm not sure because we had two people that only leveled one character. And then I was mid 360s. Modern, you were definitely on the.
Were you the highest modern at 370?
I think I was the second highest, I believe.
Nice.
So did you feel like how did you go about like the encounters? So walk us through the raid as far as like where maybe you had challenges.
Which raid?
The latest one, Spire Stars.
The latest one.
What?
I mean, the biggest challenge we had was finding the door right off the bat when we completed the encounter. We spent like 4 minutes trying to find the door to continue.
Yeah.
We were like, "Where's the door?" We were like looking all over. We were looking at like outside the map and stuff like that. We couldn't find the door.
We tried to find cannons to shoot us up into
Yeah.
the stars. We were trying to like jump around the back.
That's great.
So
It
dumb.
was a nightmare, but
Yeah.
I would say the hardest part about it was just staying alive in the final boss fight. Honestly, there
Well,
was
Mechanics and all that, and like
Good.
getting those
Yeah,
components to mix. There's such small windows of time to like perform that stuff, and so when you're learning it and you're dying, it makes it very difficult to make those pieces line up correctly.
I think one of the big things that we're really good at is since not all of our clan members do it, but a lot of our clan members really dissect parts of raids and see, can this be soloed? Can this be 3-man? I mean, we're already really close to getting a strategy to 3-manning the final boss in Spire of Stars. And we're so close. I don't know if it's possible yet, but like this is the things that we do. We really break down encounters. We see what's the minimum amount of people. So we're really good at being at observing things, looking closely. I mean, what sort of buffs do you have on your screen? What's around? How many plates are there? Are there 4? Are there 6? Are things glowing? What can I jump on? What can I not? Is there a relic? And then when you wipe, a big tip is Bungie always puts on the wipe screen, ships armed, ships destroyed. And that's a big key because we say, okay, at some point we have to find out a way to arm a ship. And then we have to find out a way to blow up a ship. So we already know objectives just from wiping.
Mhm.
And then we look around at our surroundings again and we say, okay, based off of everything that we know, what would make the most sense? And I think we're really good at not just sort of getting out of control and losing our touch. We're really good at staying calm and sort of trying to explain things in a really logical way so that we have something that we can try. And then we try it, and if it doesn't work, somebody else's turn. Hey, Error had an idea. What's his idea? And then he says, okay, you're going to go here, and we try that, and we just keep sort of messing around until something works. And in this particular raid, we got to the boss in exactly an hour. And then we spent almost 6 hours on the boss.
Wow.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you how difficult this boss actually
Yeah.
was compared to all the others. I mean,
Yeah.
that's insane.
I'm stealing somebody's question from later, but do you guys think that as people's light level increases, that this boss encounter is going to get significantly easier, or do you think it's just so complex that it's going to remain difficult for forever?
I think it's gonna get easier.
I'll be honest. Go ahead, Martin.
I think it's just gonna be easier because you're gonna learn the fight and you're gonna learn the encounter and you're gonna figure out, what to do and stuff like that. It's just practice basically, and obviously if you're gonna be higher light, it's gonna be a lot easier for you. You're
Mhm.
gonna be able to do more damage to the guy, and you're gonna be able to survive as well.
Just clear out ads faster.
Yeah.
And since you already know the encounter and stuff, so
And with most teams that kind of already know what they're doing, once you get around the 380 mark, the fight is already starting to become a casual two-phase DPS. We carried some people through yesterday. They had never done the encounter, and it is we're taking away 2 chunks of his health on the first DPS and then finishing him off on the second.
Nice.
So it's already significantly easier. And the way that the fight works for DPS scaling is it's 1s and 6s. So if you're at 371, you're gonna do a certain amount of damage and you're gonna take a certain amount of damage from enemies. And once you hit 376, you're at that next tier and you're on par with the fight. And then once you hit 381, you're pretty much maximizing your damage output.
Interesting.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. So maybe give a shout out to because you guys are just 2 of a 6-man raid team. Who are you?
7 actually for this one because somebody disconnected during the boss fight and we had to bring in a replacement.
Well, who are your teammates during this?
Give him the shout out, Modern.
all right, so we got me, obviously Modern Chard, and then we got Glad, and then we got Flesh Crunch, who was the guy who DC'd. He was the real MVP.
Rest in
Yep.
peace, Flesh. He helped us all the way to the boss fight and just kept getting disconnected. It was unfortunate.
Oh, that's
Oh,
brutal.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah.
And then we had Eon to come to replace him. So shout out to Eon for ditching his raid team to come help us.
Yeah, he did.
Nice, he did. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
He did.
Oh, man. Okay.
He's
we
not
had
mad about
Indica.
it either.
Indica, I need a res on left, and Air,
yes.
and
Have you guys seen? Oh no,
Sweat.
go ahead. Good.
Sweatsicle.
Sweatsicle.
Nice.
So in your world's first final run, I watched the video of it. It's on the you guys won a Bungie
Movie of the week.
movie of the week.
Yeah.
And I was watching it, and Indica is in this very intense moment screams like, just like this. You could hear it in his voice, like, "I need a res on the left."
Yeah. It's already a meme in our clan. And
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and it's funny because Indica knows this. Indica is just notoriously known for just being extremely loud, during a lot of things that we do. But that's him. It is what it is. He gets super jacked up and excited in the moment, and so he can't really hate. We've needed a res on left, like.
Yeah.
And you guys were. It's funny, like some of you guys were wanting to. There was this moment where you were pausing to take a group photo, but then somebody's yelling to go to orbit. Why is that happening?
Because it goes off the API time. Like it goes through the database and Bungie's thing. So whenever you leave, then it cuts it right there.
That's the actual end.
So you're trying to get to orbit so that it registers.
Yeah,
your
just in
finish.
case if someone actually did completed maybe 30 seconds after us, but they left before us.
Interesting.
Well, so that's
yeah, that would suck.
we've seen in previous raids that the finishing times have been really super close, right?
Yeah.
Minutes.
Yeah.
So there has to be a real reason for that happening.
Yeah.
So Well, congratulations, you guys. I mean, watching it. I was at work and I was watching. Obviously my friends here.
Our clowns.
Yeah, they were
Clowns
just
clowning around.
seconds
We're
behind you
clowns,
guys in finishing it.
We
Just-
literally spent like a half an hour because we didn't know that one of the raid boots had a buff on it.
Oh my gosh.
Pop up on the screen. We spent
To
30
be
minutes
fair, we
trying
were
to figure
doing
out what
pretty
that
well
was.
with the other stuff. Like we were,
Oh my god.
We were on pace up until the boss, and then our DPS was just like checked.
yeah, we had like
Yeah.
350, 358s, 359s.
Oh yeah, you're gonna hurt.
Yeah,
if you're
It's-
below 356, I don't even think you can do like a decent amount of damage at all.
We had
Are
one
they,
person,
question marks?
Sisukun, was above 370, and then everybody else was either 360 or in the 350s.
Or slightly below.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it definitely it made it difficult to just try the mechanics because there was so much deaths from ads coming around. Yeah.
Well, the team from DCP, I wasn't able to be there because I was at work, and Patrick wasn't able to be there because he's been gone for some time now.
Where's Holt right now?
He's in the ice caps of Antarctica in detention for cursing on a family-friendly stream.
Oh,
Really?
And he's currently getting some PvP tips from Benedict.
Oh,
Benedict Arnold.
Because because of his last PvP match, he only got 7 kills
oh.
in a tournament setting.
Did that
Most
count
of them
assists
were
also?
a rocket launcher, right?
Yeah.
That counted assists? Oh.
Yikes.
So we wish Patrick the best. Obviously, he's
Good luck, Patrick.
it's tough to get out of Antarctica.
Hopefully that
detention.
magic career will work out for him because I don't see Destiny going anywhere.
He's had a lot of careers. He's either rodeo clown, magic. I mean,
He's
but
testing
hopefully
the
he'll-
waters, He's out there exploring the world, becoming who he truly is. Yeah. I'm excited for him.
it's a wanderlust. It's good. Well, gentlemen, we have had we have had a busy week in Destiny.
Right?
It's been a busy
I'm
week.
tired. I want to go to bed.
Not only like just in like the news wise, but we have something of a world's first as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were the first team to beat Bungie at their own game in the Bungie versus stream.
Congratulations. Yeah,
Thank you very
I was
much.
gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
So who carried?
What?
Like, I'm not going to say I carried, but Watts definitely carried.
I think it was
Without a
the Zim personally, Briar. It was the Zim that carried.
Whoa, I don't know what this whole Zim word you're talking about. That's completely foreign to me.
Yeah. So it was so modern. It was funny because it was I don't know if you got to watch the stream, but we did a 1v1 to start the thing out, right? And
Which went very well.
it went extremely well. Obviously, the team put their best player in the arena.
Wait, we could have chosen the player?
Yeah.
That's why I win.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
So I 1v1 Dylan damage, right? From Bungie. So I 1v1 him, and I was being easy on him at first, right? So I let him win a couple, and then
Sure you did.
and then I started to try to bring it back, and then I realized that I'd let it go too far. And so unfortunately, by the skin of my teeth, I lost.
I got to say, okay, so bullshit aside, that was actually really fun to watch.
Wasn't?
Dylan was definitely trying his damnedest to distract you and doing a damn good job.
Oh my
too.
God.
He was
We were
asking-
yelling at you the whole time, Pope. We
Yeah,
were
I know.
yelling.
I know.
Shut up, Pope.
But
Focus.
it really came
He's
down.
a bitch ass hunter.
That's right.
Where's the-
Dylan, DMG04, DMG_04 on Twitter, if you guys don't know who he is, against Pope Bear. And the first one went Dylan's way. The second one went Pope's way. So it really became like a rubber match. And right down to the end,
Yeah.
I want to say the score was 6-7.
Yeah.
And Pope,
yeah.
you shot him 4 times
I
and
know.
stopped shooting because you thought he was dead.
Oh,
that
no.
was
literally
hard
the
to see.
difference between winning and losing in that match. It was like,
I
it
know.
was unbelievable. It was
That's
that
a little
close,
bit of
though.
a Call of Duty trigger
It
finger
is.
there.
It is. It is for sure.
I counted the bursts of like, okay, I'm done. And so, you finish your kills, and he won. So no, I mean, I don't make excuses. I was nervous as hell, I could feel my hands like shaking in the adrenaline of it. No matter how good of a player you are, when you're in front of other people in a competitive setting, there's going to be nerves, and I felt them, and I'm not used to that. So I played what I felt was the best game I could. But anyway,
It was
I
a
lost.
good game, man. That's what
Yeah.
I meant to compliment you if I didn't come across that way. DMG is a very good player, and he showed that he was a very good player. And you stood there toe to toe with him and swapping punches, man. It was fun to watch, and it was very exciting. Next time we're gonna mute your.
They were asking me questions about my first girlfriend and stuff that it just
Kinda
really,
in your head.
oh, tell us some more about DCP, and then bam, I'm dead.
I was like, no Pope. Mute
So-
him.
Anyway, so
Cheap trick.
we did end up when I had my squad around me and I didn't have Bungie distracting us. We went up too quick. We went up 2 maps on them really quick, and
Then they picked survival on solitude.
that's right.
Tefty's never played.
I never played the
I've
map, and it had no radar, and I was like, oh my god. And the field of view, good lord.
It's rough. Yeah, it's hard with no radar. And
Oh, that's right. We were playing on PlayStation, which Tefty and I hadn't touched the controller
6
Oh,
months.
gosh.
October.
Console's rough. I don't know how people do it.
It feels
We all
weird
did
going
it
from
for
keyboard
years.
to
I
mouse
just
to
don't
controller.
understand how we lost the ability to do it so quickly.
It's like I just
right, yeah.
completely forgot about aim assist and how it affects the controller.
Yep, it's weird.
Yeah.
Well, so it came down to the wire. It was a really close game. Bungie played extremely well.
We picked a map that we were terrible on.
Yeah.
That's true. We did
Let
do
it
that.
come
We
back.
kind of sabotaged ourselves on that one a little bit.
We
Yeah.
sabotaged ourselves a little bit, but then
On Bungie's squad, there was Cosmo and Dylan or DMG. There was
Elliot
Gray, who came in as a last-minute replacement for Josh Hamrick, and some other guy that who was their fourth?
I don't know. Not ringing. I
Not
can't
recalling.
remember.
Yeah,
Anyhow, let's move on.
yeah. So, anyways,
Okay.
All right.
someone that's dead to us. I mean, that we don't know.
Whoa.
And
whoa.
so,
whoa. My
what?
goodness.
What?
So who was their best player?
Whew. Definitely not the person that can't be named.
I feel like Cosmo and DMG were kind of
think
swapping blows at the top of the.
DMG was. I feel like DMG was pretty consistent.
Yeah.
So DMG would be Cosmo in a 1v1.
I think so.
Well, it'd be interesting to find out.
I felt Elliot was pretty
They
good.
should. It's
Challenge.
the community managers. They should go head to head.
Anytime
That
I
would
went
be nice.
against
Accept the challenge.
Elliot, there was his shots were on point with whatever gun he was using.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elliot was
Elliot got way
surprisingly good.
Did you guys happen to watch the Bungie side of that stream afterward?
I did.
I watched it too. It was pretty entertaining to like see that side of
Yeah.
like competition against yourself.
Patrick was mad. Sorry, this person that will not be named was mad about us team shotting and working as a team.
Oh, I need to go back and watch this. I didn't
Oh,
watch
it's
it.
good.
yet.
Yeah, it's worth.
So apparently, a person on the other team that shall not be named dropped a few
Unsavory.
unsavory words, as well as myself. But at the end, we remained the victor, the last team standing on the battlefield, and for our efforts, we got the Bungie bounty emblem.
That's right.
Hey.
For the record, was it May the 17th? Yes. No, May the 16th will be
16th.
forever known as Mrs. 5,000 Watts Appreciation Day.
There you go.
Moving forward.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Always
for putting us in
appreciation
your
for it.
backpack once again. We appreciate it.
Can you make
Absolutely.
a DCP backpack design?
Yes,
so.
that'd be great.
Let's do it.
I got to say that last match was also like really intense. It was great.
It was very close,
yeah,
actually.
it was.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
There's a lot of back.
really close up until the end, and we didn't we didn't lose focus at all, even though it was like within seconds and we were about to win, and we didn't drop focus.
Oh well, remember the cooldown games that we played in quick play afterwards?
Hmm.
Yeah.
We dropped into quick play
We
afterwards.
dropped
just
the
to-
ball.
just to kind of calm down, and we were like doing call outs and like
Oh my god.
we were still high up on it.
I was so tired. I'm still
competitive
tired.
with
I'm gonna be tired for a week.
Well, I'll tell you,
That's all of
it's
this.
been a busy couple of weeks because we had, obviously Warmind came out, which we haven't talked about yet at all because
So
we had
much.
Josh Hamrick and John Wisniewski on last week,
True.
and so we still got to talk about Warmind, but we then grinded to get into the raid, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as that raid finished, we immediately jumped on. Well, Tefty and I immediately jumped onto PlayStation to try and figure out how to use a controller again
Mhm.
and get ready for the Bungie bounty.
This is true.
And now here we are. I spent all day grinding for light level again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask. I want to ask you guys, Modern and Glad. How do you guys feel about the light level grind? And are you on the side where they should keep it like this, where you have 3 days to get ready for the raid, or do you think they should stretch it out, give a couple weeks for leveling and experiencing the content before they drop the raid? Like, what? There's two big groups right there. Where do you guys fall in that?
I personally would say the 3 days and
Yeah.
drop the raid. It makes the race more it's more exciting, and it allows you to like actually grind and stuff like that and get ready for it quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I like the 3 days too. Personally, I'm a very impatient person, so I would hate to have a DLC drop and then have to wait freaking 2.5 weeks for a raid. It would just drive me insane. It's like I love the Tuesday, Friday drops. It's amazing. It's just bang, bang. As far as grinding for light, I don't like how people reach 385 very quickly. People reach 385 in what, 2 days? I think somebody was 385 the day the raid dropped before the raid even dropped.
Oh, really?
That's crazy.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. Wow.
How the hell does that even
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah.
And
How'd they do that?
Well, what they did is I am not sure if Bungie realized this or not, but I think the problem is exotics, and exotics can still be farmed to just increase your light level. So what people
Quest
were doing
exotics?
was turning in all their people were holding on to their raid keys and storing them in the postmaster because they don't
Oh.
disappear. And then what they did is they did their first character, their second character, their third character, turned in all 9 keys in their inventory, and then all 20 keys in their postmaster,
Jesus.
and got all these exotics. And
That makes sense. Yeah. of
yeah,
course.
and I think my solution is simple. Bungie just needs to not let exotics drop above higher light level and just use exotics to acquire new exotics items and not use them to level up.
So the
Leveling up
problem, though, is that right now we have a situation where there's a set amount of activities that you can do in a week to
For sure.
grind, and then you are kind of slapped in the face with nothingness.
Definitely.
There's gonna be an exploit no matter what.
Yeah,
Like somebody's gonna find an exploit. There's always gonna be one. Like
I agree.
it's it'd be surprising to be if somebody didn't find one for a raid.
But the thing
So there's
is,
got to be something to grind for. There's got to be some reason. Like right now, legendary drops are not exciting because you already have all the legendaries, right? And they come with the same rules every time. So at least with exotic drops right now, it's like there's something to get excited about. Like a legendary engram could turn into an exotic. You get an exotic out of a chest, and you're like, oh, okay, sweet. I'm going to the tower and decrypt it because it's the only thing after you finish all your milestones and raids that kind of has value anymore. So if they get rid of that, that's what my complaint would be, that like you're literally like that's the last vestige of something to do.
See, they already did it though with the general grinding, because you can't just get exotics now from anywhere and have it give you light level. So I think it was overlooked that the raid keys would give you light in that instance. Then
Yeah.
Although
and
that's pretty specific cases that people kept those keys. Yeah.
it definitely is, but for example, I didn't do it. I just did my milestones on my 3 characters, logged on to my first character on week 2 on Tuesday, and he was already 382, without any exploits. Second character 384, third character 385, without exploiting any sort of exotic. So it still is very, very easy to reach max light, and I wish they would turn that down a little bit and give some more things to strive for after you do all your milestones. Examples would be random rolled weapons would be a great example. Strike exclusive weapons with random rolls would be amazing. It would keep a lot of people continuously playing the game, grinding those heroic strikes, because at the end you have something to strive for.
Sure.
Just like the old D1, you get the gun, you don't get the roll that you want. Oh well, run it back, do it again. So
in D1, if I recall correctly, you didn't always get light level drops. Like that there was a chance of something giving you a light level drop, right?
Yeah, ever since the April update, they changed it and made the
Yeah.
smart loot system.
Yeah, exactly.
And
April
that's-
update.
that's what-
Smart loot.
Yeah, April update.
I hate the smart loot system.
Yeah, like it seems like it's pretty simple solution is that you don't guarantee it. It's that you have a chance of getting a light level drop and also make it from like anywhere. So the higher you go, the less likely you're going to get that high level drop, but there's still a possibility. So there is something to still chase for.
Or make it more likely to happen in higher tiered events. You know,
Tiered
like
raids and powerful
It's like
engrams.
Masterworks, right? Like
Why do we
Masterworks
get
stuff
better-
is more
Exactly, like
the
Masterworks.
drop.
why do I get better loot out of a 270 Nightfall than I get out of a 360
heroic?
light heroic? 350 light heroic? Heroic is way harder than
Heroic's
the Nightfall.
weird.
Yeah,
Heroic
it is.
strikes are in a super weird place where they are more difficult than a Nightfall, but they don't even give you anything above 345.
Well, they talk about it.
Like,
They talk about it.
they
in the
did
12.
talk about it. They
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And they realized that it needs to be kind of that middle ground. There needs to be something where you can get past that 345 hump, but you can't get to 385 from it. And I think Heroic Strikes would be a good place.
The disadvantages are brutal. I mean, those things are.
Oh, yeah.
You grounded just needs to go.
Grounded sucks.
Get it out of here.
There's one
Please.
that's running today that takes away your radar and makes any melee a one-hit kill to your Guardian. It
Yeah.
is because you don't see him coming. You
Oh,
don't hear
no.
him coming. They just all of a sudden you're dead. You're like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little punishing.
But the thing is, they have
I really appreciate it, to be honest with you.
what the melee.
I love heroic strikes the way they are. I swear if they nerf them and make them easier, I'm going to be so pissed.
They don't need to be
love-
easier. I think the rewards
I
need to
love-
just be a bit better.
Okay,
That's what it is,
I
Watts.
agree.
That's it.
100%.
That's it right there.
No, I agree. I agree that, and they refer to that in the TWAB, and they're going to be giving, they're going to be adjusting and giving better loot drops for them. And I think glad you're with the randomized roles thing is something that we're going to look forward to. But I really, really appreciate doing the heroic strike playlist and having them be difficult.
So Modern and I have something to say on the heroic strikes currently. I don't mind them. I really don't. But by taking ward synth out of the game, they also nerf something else. I don't know if you noticed, but in heroic strikes, a lot of yellow bar enemies are no longer yellow. They're red. So you can't run through with Ward Cliff anymore and use it to get more ammo. We don't have heavy ammo synths. We have a double primary power ammo system. And they're taking the only enemies in the strikes that drop heavy ammo out of the strike.
I don't know.
So strikes
Mhm.
now are very frustrating because when I do them, I pretty much just save my heavy to the boss and
Mhm.
only
Yeah.
use heavy if I see an extra brick on the ground. Then I'm like, okay, I can shoot heavy now. Because then what happens is you get to the boss, if you use your heavy during the strike, you're just dinking him with hand cannons and scout rifles.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mhm. That's true. Yeah.
And I know modern hates it too.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but
It's not a fun system. Like
it's the ammo economy. It's
Nah.
just-
yeah.
They need to look at it in general. The ammo economy is
Yeah.
poopy.
Yeah, when you go back to D1, like there was an intrinsic juggler. So that helps right there. In case you do just like using your energy hand cannon or something, like you don't have to worry about suddenly running out of that. But then in D1, you had that nice trifecta of being able to juggle between a shotgun or a sniper and rockets and then also use your primary for red bars. And that is definitely gone in D2. And it becomes this frustrating choice when you have content that's harder. So if iron is on at the moment, it just amplifies that even further.
Sure.
Because you're just having to go through a bunch of primary ammo and have to worry about your heavy ammo consumption.
Just pop your heavy ammo synth. That's all.
Yeah.
Just save them. Buy them from Zer.
oh wait, if you can't.
It's still a problem in the Leviathan raid when you're doing Callus. Is I still run out of ammo in there, especially if
Oh,
I'm
you run
on-
out. I've had times where I have no primary, no energy, no heavy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I'm just gonna stand here and go
Yeah.
melee some dogs, see what happens.
wait for the timer to like pop me some ammo.
Mhm.
Intrinsic juggler needs to go, and heavy ammo synths would solve the problem.
Mhm.
It's very simple, in my opinion. I think if you put heavy ammo synths in the game, I'm okay with ward synth being removed, and I'm okay with less yellow bar enemies in strikes.
Yeah, just as long as right when the boss spawns, like a pop a heavy.
Pop a synth, it's
Yep.
Do
Everything be good.
I've always thought, like, ever since they put in the rally the flag mechanic for public events, I've always thought that they should put those in the beginning of each counter for when you're doing a raid. Because
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
like how many times do you like, oh, we need to do an ammo run or a super run, and then you wipe again, and then when they could just put that rally the flag mechanic in the raid every time you start, so it's like at the baseline you have power and you have your super. Since they seem to be setting up these instances to require those things to complete them.
What's the thing, right? When you're doing a raid, you're not testing how well you use your ammo. Like, you're testing how well can you do the mechanics, figure out the mechanics, and execute those mechanics
Exactly.
effectively.
Yep.
It's not, oh, I can't kill the guys because I have no ammo. That shouldn't be the thing that stops you from completing the encounter.
Yeah. I feel like in the raid now, I have to wear those gloves to punch.
Yep.
Right.
Like, it's a requirement to make it feel normal to be able to get enough ammo to then do damage to the boss. So
They're definitely the meta right now.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, we got a lot of stuff that came to us in the TWAB.
Do we want to just talk about a little bit about our feelings for the Warmind DLC? I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't talked about it at all.
For sure.
it's been a full week. Over now.
I'm still excited to play Destiny.
Right?
Same.
Part of that is because I've been so hyper focused on just like single-mindedly raising light level, and there's certain activities that are very good for that, and there's other activities that I've just been completely ignoring. Like, I haven't been going after any of the like hidden secrets to get any of the hidden weapons. I haven't been doing any of the kind of side questy stuff. It's very much been like a straight go into the raid, try and get powered up as fast as possible, right?
Yeah.
But there seems to be just a lot once you do the story, which the story was very much a Destiny DLC story, right? It was sort of interesting. The bosses I thought were pretty cool. They make for good strike bosses, I think. Different anyway.
Too easy, but yeah.
It's always too easy. And then
I know, but it doesn't need to be Briar.
Right, I agree with you.
I mean, every other campaign allows you to select the hard mode. I mean,
Even Destiny 1 allowed you to select the hard mode.
let's just
True.
give us the hard mode. Let me
Yeah.
do heroic. Man, make it easy. Make it hard on.
Well, they're heroic strike now.
What'd you guys think of the campaign?
Short.
Yeah, for me, it was like short doorway to get to the end game. Like, it was.
Yeah.
They had some story. They had some things kind of like lay down some foundation, but I didn't feel emotionally connected at all during the whole thing. It was beautiful.
Never felt a connection to
Yeah.
Anna Bray.
Well, I think Anna Bray is cool,
Right.
but I definitely did.
Yeah,
I didn't
cool,
build like a rapport with her where I was like, I would be
Right.
disappointed if she died or turned to the dark side or whatever. Like, none of it. I'd be like, well, okay, whatever. Like, they can definitely do it, but I know it's a difficult proposition to have a game where you grind lots of hours and content and also have an extremely in-depth story that you care about. I know those things aren't. They don't mesh easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely short. Half of it was just recycled strikes,
Yeah.
essentially. However, I do think the worm is a really cool strike boss.
Mhm.
Yeah,
At
it is
first-
very cool.
At first, I did not like it. I was like, this is going to be such a pain in heroic strikes, but you can actually bake that thing. Cluster rockets actually destroy him.
Yeah.
We went in with a full team of Darcy's on one of the heroic strikes for it.
Yeah.
It happened to be that the day that Heavyweight was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heavyweight was
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that thing falls down so fast. It was
Yeah, it
hilarious.
does. It
Heavyweight
does.
is nice.
So he's a cool boss. Not a fan of the other boss. Just 'cause-
Knockers?
Health gates.
Yeah, I don't like health gated bosses. I'd rather have it be time gated, so shield goes down for a certain amount of time before the shield regens,
Yeah.
not to the point where the health reaches somewhere. It kind of just feels a little bit like
Poke
You know what's
your
funny
mutas.
about that
Crash.
strike? That strike, there's like the ogre boss fight. That's basically the same boss fight, like right before it, right? That is more fun than the actual boss fight.
Denzel.
yeah.
You kill the four knights and you blow up the crystals, and you're in a boss fight. It's over really quick because the ogre doesn't have nearly the health that Knockers does. But it's just more kinetic. It's more fast paced. When you get to Knockers, and then all of a sudden you have to
Knockers.
you literally have to just like sit there and wait for the next phase,
Mhm.
kill the
Yeah.
thrall that come out, then you can move on with the next.
Have you guys experienced Nokris?
Pope, you're muted.
I don't know if Pope knows he's
Yeah,
muted.
Pope, you're muted. So I'm taking this. Have you experienced the Nokris strike where all the ads are gone and it's just Nokris flying around? It looks so awkward. He's just like some weird funny guy in a dress, just like floating around the arena.
I worship
Also,
a
is
worm
that like
god.
a helmet or is that like his skull?
I think it's
I want
his
Nokris
face.
to be cooler, man.
Nokris are pretty cool.
Don't they have like an
Nokris is a
exoskeleton?
big deal in the lore. He's a big deal. He should
I
be
really
scary.
liked the lore behind Nokris, and I liked the fight encounter because it incorporated a piece of the lore into the fight encounter. I think it could have been more dynamic, but having Nokris being able to rise.
Can you explain that? Because I'm not familiar.
Well,
with that.
so he's a hive that can raise other hive from the dead, right?
He's a
So
necromancer.
in the fight, he's a necromancer. So in the fight, they open up a portal and all these enemies come rushing out, right?
Mhm.
Well, you kill the enemies, and then you give that Nokris more ammo to fight you with. So you kill all these enemies, and then he does this, this spell and brings them all back to life. So you're fighting the risen, enemies that you've killed them. So I like the mechanic of that and how it fits into the lore. It's similar what I felt to the fight where we dropped down into the dark room where the knight with the axe,
Darkblade.
Darkblade, yeah.
Darkblade.
Okay,
I felt
that's cool.
I like
I
that
really
that
like
the
that side.
I like that the encounter incorporated. It made sense that we weren't just doing a damage phase because it was a damage phase to be done. It was like fit into the lore of that character. I just think it could have been more dynamic, but definitely interesting for me.
I think that's like the biggest thing that's happening right now. It seems there's a bunch of health gating when it comes to strike bosses in Destiny, and I really would like to see them move away from, just like you said, time gated is much better. So if you can unload all your rockets and all your snipers and so on and so forth, and then you can actually measure how much damage you're doing, that's a lot more exciting to do for endgame stuff than it is to just, well, you took away a quarter, and they're putting in way too many of these also. Like, is 4?
It works though in some situations. Like the one where you fall into the pit with the Vex boss works because you actually move to different levels in that pit, and like his when you damage him on the top level, the whole encounter changes when you move to the middle level, and then you damage him on the middle level, the whole encounter changes when you move to the bottom level. To me, that works because the whole fight is changing. Like the location even of the fight is changing.
It's
But
different phases.
With
and different
knockers,
stages.
it's just the same thing repeated over and over.
Knockers.
Knockers. I'm
Not
definitely calling them
knockers.
knockers.
That's what I said.
It is not knockers. Knockers.
I'm calling them knockers.
That's what I said.
Okay, I'm
I'm saying knockers.
I like
This isn't
that.
Hooters.
I like it.
These
No,
he isn't
knockers is perfect. You got a good point, actually. If the arena changes every time there's some sort of health gate, then I would be more. I'd be more about that. But the thing is about that boss, sometimes it glitches and you can take off like half its health and then it drops to the next floor,
that's true.
which is nice. You're like, oh, cool. I feel like I can actually do a little more heavy lifting before the mechanic kicks in. But with this, there is like this really heavy imposed mechanic of, okay, he's at this health point. He's going to summon more ads and you have to go throw the balls around in the arena.
And then he disappears or goes invulnerable.
Yeah.
There's no way to like get better at those strikes because they have that setup.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think kind of sucks.
And Exodus
I
Crash
think
is the worst one of all of them. And that's why everybody leaves.
See, I think a really well-designed fight is the Pyramidian boss fight because that is a time-gated. Every time the shield goes away, he runs to the next area. You have a specific amount of time to load up and DPS him. And I love that fight. I think it's very well designed. I think the arena is really cool. It's wide open, so it gives you a lot of mobility, but it's got just enough to keep cover to keep yourself alive. So stuff like that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to play a ton of Warmind. I've leveled one character up to 55 or 355 is my highest character. I'm enjoying playing it at a leisurely pace. I didn't need to grind. I haven't done the raid layer yet. I feel like I will have time to do that when I have time to do it. And when I'm high enough light that I won't have a miserable time. So for me, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed, I still haven't even done the the 7 levels of
Escalation protocol.
Yet. I've accidentally started one and had my ass handed to me.
Yeah.
So, I'm waiting on that, and I'm enjoying collecting the collectibles and getting that stuff done. It's fun for me right now.
We should
I
talk.
like,
like
that
that
stuff's
stuff
in the
too.
game.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that we have that stuff back, being able to collect stuff.
The collectibles are so
Just
nice.
because I
The
haven't
exotic
gotten to
catalysts are phenomenal. Like I think that is 100% the
Yeah.
way to go in the future for things because
Yep.
I like the fact that you get an exotic, it's unique, and then there's a thing that you can go and collect that is somewhere in the universe or in the sandbox that will then extend it to make it even better. And then there's a grind associated with it. Like I want to see that expand further and not just be exotics. Like I was talking last
Sure.
night, it would be really cool to have some sort of exotic catalyst type of thing drop for legendaries as well. So if they didn't want to go full on randomized loot, they could do something where they could have these catalysts drop for legendaries where you could possibly get a catalyst for outlaw or a catalyst for glass half full or something like that would then unlock in that weapon and expand. Like I think those type of grinds are really cool. So I'm happy that they're doing stuff like that.
It would be cool to see armor exotic catalyst drop as well.
Yes. So like on the Hunter Wormhusk helmet, you could get your health
Make it
back
better.
twice as fast,
Oh.
and then make me
Ooh.
invulnerable. During
Now we're
dodge.
talking.
What
Wise.
about-
Yeah, it's what I'm
You know,
saying.
that
What
helmet
about
is
your
good,
teammates
but it
receive
could
the
be
same
great.
healing effect?
Yes. So that's-
Yeah, with the
ooh.
masterwork
Nice.
Give
version.
Hunter some team play.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do
It's
that.
like
Modern
their own
That
Let me
would
rift.
be
ask
good in
you.
the raid.
Modern, let me ask you a question. So you grinded, you beat the end game. Where are you in the Warmind DLC right now? What are you playing Destiny every day, or what keeps you coming back if you are?
Recently I actually haven't played that much. Like it's been like sort of on and off and stuff like that. But I'm basically like at the end pretty much for me.
You've done everything, or you don't worry about
Like for the Crucible, I'm not that like I like the Crucible, but I'm not like that big of a fan of the Claymore and stuff like that. So I'm not really grinding for it. When it comes to PvE, I mean challenges for the raid it's come to a very very fine line of just like one phase in the boss, or as Glad was saying, the 3-man, which I personally don't think it's gonna happen, but we'll see what he
Yeah,
can
you
do.
watch and see there, buddy.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, you
And,
keep on tuning in.
it's just the challenges aren't really there. The speedrunning, I mean, I like speedrunning in Destiny 2. It's just the way speedrunning is now is it's not the same. It's more just like everything's like so time gated now. It's not really fun anymore. And then like the strats that are like implemented aren't really that fun. Strikes, I mean, I used to love playing strikes right before the Warmind came out. I was playing strikes every day. I was just playing strikes because I enjoyed playing strikes. It's now with the Warcliff gone and the synths not being there, it just I don't have the drive to play strikes anymore because it's not that fun because I'm sitting there dinking everything with my primary, then I'm saving my heavy ammo for the boss.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So right now you're playing. What other game are you playing?
I'm not really playing anything really.
Just
Just
Destiny or bust.
yeah. On the
All right,
side, I play Fortnite here and there, but it's like maybe an
Fun
hour a day, maybe 2.
fact: Modern's actually coming to visit me in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Wow.
So
Are you gonna teach him how to beat Crota on drum set?
he already knows. I'm gonna teach. I'm gonna give him some beard food. I'm gonna teach him how to grow a beard.
Oh my gosh.
This guy's
nah.
making fun of me, all right?
Now, but he's
Sorry.
flying into Colorado on the 31st, right?
The 30th.
30th.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Same for a couple
That's
days.
cool. It's
That's
cool
awesome.
to meet friends online in
Yeah.
real life. I mean,
For
that's one of
sure.
the things that impressed me the most about Guardian Con is just seeing all
Yeah.
these people and seeing how short really Tefty is. I mean, you think he's taller,
It's true. It's actually true.
but
It's even more amazing to see
Speaking
how much
of
shorter.
short-
It's amazing to see how much shorter Pope is in comparison. I was kind of blown
Speaking
away.
of short, we've got a short wait until the PTR comes to Destiny 2.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
I like that segue.
May
Let's go with that.
29th, we are getting the Crucible Labs, which is basically a player test realm for the Crucible in Destiny 2. It's going to be available to all players. even after they announced this and explained that it would be available to all players, a lot of people were confused that it'd be only a PC thing. But Destiny or Bungie clearly stated it would be available to all players. I kind of expect it to be like kind of a selectable option on everybody's,
That's the way it was
menu.
worded. That's what I kind of assumed, that it was like, here is a different sandbox, so you're going to go in and test things out in PvP,
Right.
and so they can see how the community responds to it. This is,
Right.
I mean, this is huge because this is the first time
And
Destiny.
it's happening quick.
Yeah, it's
May 29th.
May 29th, exactly. This is huge because this is the first time Bungie is being like, okay, public, let us know what you think of these possible options. And usually they curate everything like 3 times over before they give it to the public, and then we still
Before we even get a peep.
Yeah, exactly. And then we still find bugs and so on and so forth. So the curation process never means that the bugs aren't there. But this is the first time that we're going to have any kind of feedback on what's working in those labs.
But they can make changes that are community requested, right? They can make 3-tap hand cannons and
Ooh, can you
perfect
imagine?
inner accuracy, put it
Which
in
already
Crucible
exists.
Labs, and all of a sudden, we get to see how it actually affects
How
the
it
game, right?
feels, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's an amazing opportunity for Destiny, for the Destiny community, and I can't believe it's coming May 29th. I mean, that's really exciting.
I'm really curious
super
to
excited.
see how deep it's going to go, because there's just changes to the sandbox that are subtle that they can do. Like if they could do 3-tap hand cannon, so you can bring your loot in there. They could also go so far as like, if you log into the Crucible Labs, you have a completely different character, a different set of loot that they give you this.
Well, what if they start testing the weapon slot changes in there?
Exactly. Yeah, which would
like
be like, here's a template character that they give everybody to test things out to see if it's going to work. Like that makes me very excited. I mean, this is a completely different tone from Bungie than we've seen.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a really nice change. It puts a connection between the players and Bungie themselves.
Mhm.
It's really nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something
For
that was
sure.
lacking.
Yep.
Like some things you're never going to see in there, right? You're never going to see September's exotics in there because Bungie wants to keep that secret, right?
Sure.
But they could definitely like start tweaking around with, well, what damage should high rate of fire pulse rifles be doing? They can make tweaks like that. They can make tweaks like, like inner accuracy, like we mentioned before. Like they can make all sorts of like cool little tweaks like that. Tell us about them or not tell us about them. See if we
Time to
notice them.
kill.
Yeah,
They could
time to
tell-
kill. They could
Sure,
play with the
that's
time to kill, and none of this would have to change like the full game, right? The regular Crucible, the competitive list, the PvE side of the game all remain unaffected by Crucible Labs. Crucible Labs is just a place you go in and test. Theoretically, you wouldn't make any progress in Crucible Labs, right? Anything that happened in there was just in the Crucible
Stats
Labs.
don't carry.
Yep.
Right. It's exciting.
It's very exciting, and it's
It's
going to happen
exciting.
in a couple weeks. It's awesome.
Yeah. Also, May 29th, we're getting the faction rally improvements, which we don't know much about yet, right?
No.
So that'll be a surprise. And then exotic armor sandbox changes.
It's
They don't
really
say anything
soon.
about faction rallies.
I just said faction rally improvements.
It just says
that's it.
improvements.
15 seconds ago.
Yeah, no, they haven't actually said what that is yet on what they've actually improved.
Yeah.
They've just said that it's coming May 29th. I'm very excited about that because that's a big thing for PvE. That is like when I first heard about faction rallies in Destiny 2, I was like, oh man, are we gonna have these cool events that are PvE based that are gonna like have this special stuff happen? And then it just became public events. And tokens,
Yeah.
public events and
Grinding
tokens,
public events.
Yeah?
Tokens.
And like weapons that we don't care about. Like I really hope that this stuff that we want to chase after.
Well, there's definitely stuff that we want because the data miners have found that there's going to be certain exotic masterworks that are tied to different factions in the Factored Rally.
Oh,
right?
cool.
The Sweet Business, the Graviton Lance, and the Sunshot
So
are all going to
whoever
be
faction is Graviton Lance will win. Okay.
Graviton Lance. I will really want Sunshot bad.
Sunshot's cool. It depends what Sunshot does, right?
Yeah.
Because Sunshot, I think, could be made to be.
I
really
think
good.
they say 20% more range and 20% more stability.
Wait, did we already know this?
This is all data mining stuff, so we don't know shit.
Data mining stuff makes me sad.
Yeah.
It gives me false hope or false sense of like.
Well, I mean, like we learned last week, is data miners were telling us submachine guns were in the game or coming to the game for 3 years,
Uh-huh.
and they were just renamed.
Fusion rifles. They're just fusion rifles.
But then they came to the game though.
They came in Destiny 2,
Yeah.
but they never came in Destiny 1.
But still, they're here.
They're here.
Data miners
But never in
also
Destiny.
they also found Black Spindle in there.
Yeah,
Did they find
did.
Black Spindle
Well,
before
they found
we
the
found it in the game?
exotic.
They found the catalyst.
The catalyst.
Yeah, the catalyst.
The
for it.
catalyst one.
They also found
No, that would be cool.
Yes.
what
That was-
became the ward, though, and that never came. Dubious Volley.
Well, no, that's Warcliffe Coil.
Right. It never came
Yeah.
in Destiny 1. It came in Destiny 2
Yeah,
as
yeah,
the
sure,
Warcliffe
sure.
Coil, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we heard why that happened. I mean,
no, I know. I'm just saying, take whatever data miners say with a grain of salt because it may or may not ever happen.
Yeah, of course. Definitely. Do you think that stuff is actually going to happen the 29th for those catalysts? Do you think we're going to have a exotic catalyst update for some of those weapons like the Graviton and Sunshot and Sweet
I
Business?
could see it happening.
if it's part of the faction rallies,
If
then
the faction rally drops on May 29th, then yeah.
Mhm.
So some of these catalysts people can't find.
Yeah.
Particularly the ones that require strikes. No, I haven't heard of anybody finding any yet.
they're probably not in the game yet.
interesting.
They're probably
Yeah.
They're probably gonna be in that update.
Well, then why is the catalyst square still there?
I-
But some of the exotics don't have the catalyst blocks yet, the catalyst nodes, but some do, and they're just not in the game. Why would that be?
Yeah, it seems like a
Yeah.
bug.
Maybe it's time gated.
Yeah,
maybe
it does seem like a
it's
bug.
coming later.
Yeah.
Seems like it's just not dropping in heroics. It's bugged out for some reason. But
Yeah.
that would definitely help with in terms of faction rally stuff. I still want some sort of unique thing in PvE that isn't just regrind the same stuff. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what they could
Yeah.
do, but like some sort of event that would happen in the public space, in the patrol space, that is more than just what they've done so far. Like,
A new and unique event, you might say, something like Solstice of Heroes, which is coming in July.
yeah,
Are we ready for that yet? Okay.
but we're talking about May
just-
29th. You know, like it would be awesome if they did something for those faction rallies specifically.
Right? It's been
Yeah.
too long.
It's
since
been on
we've had
their
new
radar for a
content flying over here.
while that they've wanted to like update faction rallies. They've wanted to
Yeah,
make it
they've been
better.
talking about
So
Yeah.
It's been on the radar for a while, so I'm hoping that they've done something to make it meaningful, to make people
Right.
argue about which faction is the best and have people
It's
actually
gotta be
emotionally
account
attached
based.
to
It's
that.
Gotta be account
has
based.
to.
It's gotta
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
for that to happen. But I also think that one thing that points to us seeing that Tefty is that if we're also on May 29th is the exotic armor sandbox changes.
Right.
So I think once they've wrapped that sounds like that's what they're shooting for, and that's what they needed that extra time. It seems like they just needed to push it out a little bit longer after Warmind, and we're going to see it.
Mhm.
We actually haven't seen a faction rally in a couple months now.
Yeah.
They basically
Yeah,
pulled it.
they were horrible. I mean, let's be honest. Like they were dumb. I mean, they were meaningless. You had one for each character. The guns were reskin. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
It wasn't that exciting.
It was like they phoned in the.
it was a letdown.
Okay, never mind. I don't want to be too like. I just
salty
didn't.
Pope Bear? We don't want to be a salty Pope.
I just feel like there
Release
was
the
like
dragon,
this
Pope Bear?
opportunity.
Tell us how you feel about hunters.
I feel like the factions were a way for us to have this in-game connection with lore and our, like a meaning to us being a part of this world and being and participating in it and reaching a certain player that gravitates to that sort of thing. And it's like that clan person that wants to, do things as a team, as a group. They're not going for the end game, like world's first, and they're not going for Trials of Osiris. There's a group of people that really want to be a part of that large scale.
Mhm.
Like, hey, we're part of New Monarchy, and what does that mean? Even
It means a bunch
Can
of
anybody
tokens.
really tell me what that means?
It means a bunch of tokens and a crappy grenade launcher.
I mean, it means that they're going to win because they have better shaders, or I just feel like there is this point where you could have this connection of lore, teamwork, collaboration, and identity come together in the game, and it just was like very disappointing to see it just fall that flat.
Mhm.
So if they're
Yeah.
any improvements they make to faction rallies, in my opinion, will be huge.
Escalation Protocol really highlights something that could be faction rally based. That type of concept with difficult content, with these bosses that kick your ass that need a lot of people to actually do DPS and take down.
Yes.
That happening on the different planets via faction rally type of stuff will be amazing. Era's in chat said world boss, and that immediately made me think of Escalation Protocol, which is fun. And then I thought, man, that would be so awesome. Dropping the EDZ, and there's like some mega Val that's in the middle who like is just stomping everything, and you know he's like 400 light level. Like that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I think Escalation Protocol has a lot of potential, and I think besides the final raid boss encounter, I think it's arguably the best content in the game right now. It's really, really fun, but I hate to see it get too easy once everybody's 385. I hate to see how hard it is to get a group of 9 people together to do it.
It's hamstrung. It's hamstrung by that. Why is it in an area you can only bring 3 people into?
Yeah, I think they should make it a selectable separate activity on the directory.
Yeah.
Maybe if they can expand a fire team to 9 just for that, or even 6 or something, you can select. Yeah, you can select a normal or a hard difficulty. You can go in, maybe even mess around with more waves, or just make an endless wave encounter where each wave it goes up by maybe 2, 3, 4, or 5 layers.
Yeah.
In a world where I go on patrol and I still find people who can't activate or can't cooperate enough to do a heroic public event, how are we expected to do 9 people Escalation Protocol?
Like
in
9
the
random
wild?
solo players in the wild.
It's almost inconceivable.
Yeah, you should be able to. If you don't have 6 or 9 people, you should be able to just matchmake. Anybody that's matchmaking for it obviously is there.
If you do have 6 people, though, you should be able to go to it together. Like, why can't I have 6 people in patrol? Is there a technical limitation? Why is that? It's always been kind of a mystery why we can't have 6-man patrols. Why can't in Destiny 1 we had 6-man Crucible, we had 6-man raids, and then we had to break apart to do patrols or strikes. Why? I could understand for strikes, but why
you
patrols?
Could also,
like it's such an easy thing to do.
6-man for VOG, right? And you were
and you could go into patrol. So I don't think it was a technical limitation.
I think the reason is the way their database stores games. So there's nothing in the database that says you could go to the EDZ with 6 people and then log that activity. It's always 3 people. So they have to. Like, obviously, they could do it. They would just have to do the legwork in expanding the fire team, then also putting in the database to log that activity, to log the kills and who was with you and so on and so forth. So it's, like, why don't they do that? I think that's the reason why they can't just automatically do it, but, like, they aren't doing it.
You can fill in, like, 9+ people in a lobby right now, right? Like, in orbit?
Oh yeah, for
private matches.
Yeah, private matches. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So you can easily just do it and just allow it where you can put all 9 people into the patrol area.
Yeah, and just like you said, Glad, they need 2 options right there. If you go into that public space, there needs to be the normal matchmaking one, and then there needs to be I'm bringing 6 people, don't matchmake me with anybody else type of thing. Because that's part of the problem is matchmaking. Like, it tries to match you with other people in that public space.
Yeah.
So if they just cut that part and made it, you're going in there as an activity, kind of like a raid, then you could coordinate stuff.
Or even little areas in patrol where you can, go to a little board and go there if you're trying to queue up for a protocol. It'll put you in a different server with other people who are queuing at that same board. You see that in RPGs a lot.
Are you trying to suggest in-game LFG, Glad? Pump the brakes. Yeah, we need in-game LFG like 2 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried it with guided games. Didn't really succeed that well.
Guided games had all this like red tape around it and just all this like packaging.
It's too specific.
Yeah.
You have to do too much to be a guide. Like, it's crazy. You can't just queue up like, I want to play with some people and go do the Nightfall. You can't do that.
Yeah. There's no reason.
Much.
There's no reason why you couldn't just go to a board in the tower, or those, like, every public space having a board that you spawn into. You could like check that if somebody has an activity that they want to do.
Yeah. And then if there's a queue, let you do something else while you wait.
Yeah. You go do one of those patrols.
Yeah. Perfect time.
Yeah.
All right. So continuing on with the development roadmap, in July, we're going to get the Solstice of Heroes seasonal event. That's a brand new seasonal event. A lot of people were predicting SRL. It doesn't say SRL. It says Solstice of Heroes.
Sounds
Some
like
of us
some
are breathing a
badass
sigh
armor
of
is gonna
relief.
come from there.
It does, right?
It sounds pretty.
Sounds cool.
You know, based on the difference between the Dawning event and what was the second event? The
Crimson.
Crimson event. What
Crimson
was it called?
Days.
It wasn't Crimson.
Crimson Days.
Thank you. You know, like Crimson Days was a lot better than the Dawning, so hopefully they continue that trend.
Yeah. I think they will.
Yeah.
Bounties are also coming in July. Expansion 1 and 2 Raid Lair Prestige is coming in July.
Mm-hmm.
PC Clan text chat, which is real nice. Year 1 triumphs. So we'll be getting triumphs for the year.
Yep.
And more exotic armor sandbox changes.
Yep.
So they're going to do some of it in May, some of it in July.
Well, let's hope they don't remove the Prestige Raid Layer off the roadmap again.
That's true.
Because it was on and then it was off, and now it's back on. So I'm.
Yeah, you're right.
So do you
Hoping-
plan on like how much time do you plan to take time off of work? Is that how it works? Like you guys do like 2 days before, or how do you prep for this?
I mean, we'll definitely run through with our team the normal version a couple times. That's how we usually prepare for the Prestige. So we'll definitely be going for World's First for both of those as well.
Do you think
Nice.
they'll drop on the same day, or do you think they'll
No,
stagger them?
they wouldn't do that. That would be
You think this is going to stagger?
that would. I think it'll stagger for sure. There's no way they would drop 2 Prestige raids on one day. That wouldn't really make sense.
Okay, hold up. Remember when they were talking about their vision for what they wanted to do with Prestige? They wanted to make like actual like challenge loadout type of stuff that could happen with that.
I'm
I
hoping,
think they scrapped that idea.
I think they scrapped that idea too because it didn't really get a lot of decent feedback.
It didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would hate it. I don't want to be forced to use crappy guns with an already flawed system to complete a higher difficulty version.
You don't
of a
want
raid.
iron along with sidearm only callus.
Throwing
No
grounded
radar,
and I'm
everybody
there.
No
melee,
radar?
one hit.
Throw grounded and I'm there.
Speaking
But
of the Prestige raid lairs, are there any mechanics that you guys would like to see from the raid lairs with Prestige?
Specifically for the raids,
Yeah.
I would love to see. We talked about Argos for a while. I would love to see Argos have 6 little orbs around him instead of 3.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, so you have to do that, or
Sure.
less craniums. So maybe only 3 craniums.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to see the 6 orbs instead. I think that'd be really cool
6 orbs would definitely add to the chaos. That could be a lot of fun.
because all 6 people would have to shoot an orb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd have to
That
have
sounds fun.
6 burning at all times. Like,
Yeah,
couldn't-
exactly.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
So
I like
Sounds
that.
fun.
It
And
would
it'll be more of a DPS check as well, because then you can't do the phase in 1
Mm-hmm.
damage.
Oh
phase in
yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
so Val or however his name's pronounced, it would be cool to see.
Rocket McDick's face the second.
Yeah, I heard that's his new
Alright.
nickname. It's emerging.
That's his name from now on. Write it down.
I would like to see 3 ships exploded, so you have to send all 3 empowered people up.
Interesting.
Blow up 3
Mm.
ships.
Yeah, interesting.
And
yeah.
maybe not have it so that it's always left, right, and center doors that need to be blown up to arm the missiles, but maybe it could be 2 on left, 1 on right, 2 in center, maybe all 3 on left, so that you have to coordinate more, because if it was left, right, and center every single time, it would almost trivialize the thing a little bit.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because you could just always assign you 2 are always going to be left, you 2 are always going to be right, you 2 are always going to be center.
Yeah, if it was
Yeah.
if it was
Stagger
3
those.
on one plate,
You would really
you would actually need
Yeah.
all 6 people coordinated.
Yeah, you would have to have 3 people with orbs on one plate, and then the other 3 people staggered on the other 2 to hold them open.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sounds like a foreign language because I didn't get a chance to
You need to get in that
sounds-
encounter.
Yeah,
That
you do.
encounter is
Uh,
so
you know,
Gotta get in there,
anytime,
dope.
anytime you
cool.
guys are willing to carry me through the raid, I will definitely. do it.
Well, PC, we're there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do the I have it on PC. I just can't do the split console. I just don't have enough time to
Right.
do that. And more of my
Yeah.
friends are on PS4. So I mean, I like watching you guys stream it on PC because it's beautiful, but
Yeah, it
I
is
don't
nice.
Everybody was making fun of me last night because I went into the or into the Bungie bounty at 289 light
Nice.
on PlayStation.
You know what they could do
Well,
on Argos
you know-
also is when you have to prevent his white mechanic, instead of having all
Mhm.
6 points available, it would randomly select 2 of them.
Oh,
You have to find them, you know, that are not a
Yeah,
meal.
that'd be fun.
That would be rough.
Yeah.
That definitely.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. I don't see on May 29th. It's really interesting that it's not there. I hate to change the subject, but I don't see it listed there. I thought there was a 4th one where it said cross-platform saves.
We can all wish and hope.
That'd be
Yeah.
nice. One day.
Send
One
him
day.
an email. I don't know.
Yeah, it was odd. It must have just been deleted right before it.
I'll be honest with you. It is one of the features that I want the most out of
Oh my
Destiny
god,
moving
dude! I want to
forward.
play with you guys, and I swear to God, if I think it was you, Brian, that said it last time we talked about this, but they would sell so many copies of the game.
Dude, they would sell so many. I talk to chat all the time. Like, yeah, I would love to play with you on PlayStation. I don't want to grind again. Like all 3 characters all the way up. Like,
That's
yeah,
right.
I watch you play. It looks so much better on PC. I have a PC that can play it, but I just don't want to do that grind again. If you had cross save,
Right.
so many people, especially on a week like this week where the Humble
Oh.
Bundle is sending it for $12. Like
Yeah.
$12, to have
Use
a
code
copy of
2CP.
Destiny.
I'm
Yeah, I
pretty
mean-
sure didn't in Destiny 1 they had the thing if you had the Xbox 360 and you had
Yeah.
the Xbox One, you were able to cross
Yeah.
between that.
Yeah. PS3
Yeah.
to PS4. And yeah, the
Yeah.
cross grade definitely worked.
God, I would
Yeah.
love that. It would be so amazing. And like everybody loves to say, well, they can't do it because of the PlayStation exclusives. Just gray them out or make them unusable when you're
They
on
can-
PC or Xbox.
They can already make, they made the Rat
can
King.
take out Rat
Yeah,
King.
the Rat King was taken
Yeah.
out. They have that ability. They can make it so if you're on PC, you just can't use Borealis.
Yeah, just make it unequipable.
Yeah.
It's easy. Easy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that, and I'll be honest with you, I would love to see keyboard and mouse control come to the PlayStation and Xbox. Other games do it. The people who play on PC, a lot of the very best players are using a controller, and I just don't see it as a problem. I would love to just be able to use my input method of choice on any console.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's mainly because there isn't dedicated servers and high tick rate servers for PvP to make it as strict of a requirement for the type of thing that Overwatch does. And I feel like Destiny is a PvE game first, along with an amazing PvP experience. And I think that's why it would make sense to be able to have that, because allowing people to play together regardless of input device and also regardless of platform, I know that's never going to happen, but that would be the dream for the Destiny community.
Yeah, crossplay would even be. I mean, that's like the unattainable, right? That's like I almost hesitate to ask for crossplay, but imagine if a PlayStation player could hook up with their friends on PC and they could hook up with their friends on Xbox and we could all play together. It doesn't matter what fucking box you bought, you get to play with your friends. How great would that be?
Yeah.
It would be
So
awesome.
there's the Fred game.
Yep.
Mhm. You're not wrong.
Since they said the friend game is the end game.
In September, we got some new things on the roadmap. We got gear collections, which I think is new wording for that, right? Isn't it gear collections? I feel like that's changed wordings from last time they put that in September. No, I guess not. I'm actually looking at the old one.
Yeah.
Records, weapon slot changes, which we saw before, weapon randomization, which we saw before, new gameplay modes. That is definitely new on there.
Yeah.
Excited to see that.
Same.
New gameplay modes.
Don't know
Yeah,
what's
not
some of
just
us can't-
modes.
Can't talk
Some
about it. Some
people
of us
can't
can.
comment.
There's new modes.
Hmm?
No one's talking about.
Yeah, I'm excited about that stuff. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the game evolve, because this Warmind patch / DLC has really sparked a huge amount of interest again in the game. There's still a bunch of people out there who are like, what is this dead game, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, they're going to be that way regardless. The people who are actually interested in Destiny are having fun again. And that is awesome. Like, I'm logging in, excited to see if I'm going to get an exotic catalyst. I'm working on exotic catalysts. I'm working on gear collection. I'm working on light level grind again. I can't wait to see that evolve even further with like these next updates. But most importantly, that September update. Like, that's going to be huge.
Yeah. Well, with the Warmind, there's an increase in difficulty across the board that has gotten me excited to get more powerful. You know, and that hasn't been there in a long time in Destiny.
Mhm.
It's been the case where I go into the raid day one, finish the raid, and that's literally the last I care about my light level. I can never think about it again. If it goes up kind of through happenstance, great. If it doesn't, I know that I'll be able to grind it up in 2 minutes when the next DLC comes up, right? Like it's never been an issue. This time, like I'm really thinking about trying to get my Guardians more powerful. I'm looking forward. I'm looking at escalation protocol. I'm looking at the raid layer. Like both of those reasons, I want my Guardian more powerful. There's Crucible things that I want, so I want to, I'm looking forward to spending more time in the Crucible. There's hidden secrets to go and collect. Like it just seems like it's a more enticing package.
It's got more life to it.
Yeah. There's more.
There was no life in Destiny 2 when it first came out. It was kind of like the light doesn't matter. The weapons weren't particularly exciting. The exotics have gotten more exciting. There's more stuff to look for. There's mysteries slowly coming back. So I'm excited for September. I think September is going to bring a lot of the D1 feeling that we've missed.
But I really want to see it also bring something new.
Well, of course.
I really want when it says new
but
gameplay
it's more
modes.
the feeling of Destiny 1, right? That feeling that we have of what's going to happen tomorrow when this changes to the weekly nightfall. Is there a secret in there? Like just that feeling of D1.
Yeah, the Taken King had a ton of that too. Like waking up in the morning, checking Reddit to see what people had found overnight,
That's actually currently happening right now with the Nightfall because as far as last night, it has not been discovered yet what the weapon is.
No, it has.
Oh, it has?
It has. Yeah, it's a Anna Bray rocket launcher with cluster bombs.
But you can get that from her engrams.
Can you?
Yeah, that can drop from her engrams. So it's not exclusive Nightfall loot.
Oh.
Has that been confirmed? Because I thought that there was a Reddit post where people were starting to get the rocket launcher from the Nightfall only.
Did they put...
They said it's confirmed.
And it is confirmed.
DMG confirmed.
That is the rocket launcher.
Confirmed it as well. Yeah,
I know DMG confirmed that there was loot from the Nightfall.
Is it good? Is the rocket launcher from the Nightfall good? Is it worth grinding?
Okay. Well, it's a cluster bomb rocket launcher that holds 6. So I mean, I don't know. I don't have it, so I can't confirm if it's better.
DMG says randomizing says DMG says the packet drops are a bug. So I guess it is the rocket.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well,
time to grind her packages.
Yep.
Right. That sounds a lot easier.
That's easier than the Nightfall.
Nocris Strike, it's an Anna Bray weapon.
Yeah.
Because Nocris is super cool. Like he is a cool dude in the lore. Hive stuff always looks really cool when it comes to weapons. So I would have loved something like a Hive weapon.
Do you think that they developed that rocket launcher to be an Anna Bray drop, and they said, "Well, we kind of need some Nightfall loot"?
Sounds like it.
I'm just kind of shove this on over here.
I want these.
I wish there was more than just one item, like just one weapon. I wish it was a weapon and like a full armor set for that.
They don't seem to have the capability of doing that right now.
Well, I know that that's super expensive, making a crap ton of armor, but even just having like maybe a class item or like an ornament. Ornaments are a lot cheaper than fully new design things.
Destiny 1 didn't have a weapon and a class, like a armor piece or something like that?
Yeah, it was like a weapon and it was like a helmet or a weapon and a cape or whatever. So yeah, I would love to see that.
That's really too bad. I was hoping that was going to be something Nocris themed that was unique.
Me too.
And I know the Anna Bray rockets are a little bit more unique. Like I think it's a different design, but it just doesn't scream, man, Nightfall, exotic, powerful loot that drops from the boss.
Right. What was that shotgun? That fallen, the Taken shotgun. Oh my god, that thing was so cool.
Stolen Will.
Yeah,
that thing was
bad.
Yeah,
that thing was nutty.
Yeah, that thing was nice.
And you had to grind it not only to get it, but then the roll that
good
you
rolls.
The roll, yeah.
Nothing beats the new shotgun though. That thing is godly.
Yeah,
the escalation protocol one.
Real good.
Yeah,
I haven't got it yet.
It's insane. It is better than any shotgun, exotic or legendary in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, you're totally right.
For PvE, at least.
You're totally right.
I was unlucky enough to not get it, so I gotta wait for it to come back.
That is so unfortunate.
Same.
I don't have anything.
By that time, there's gonna be a lot more people who are like 380.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can actually like complete it.
Actually, run into somebody who's 380 randomly.
Right.
Do you guys want to talk about real luck?
Your luck, your
What's that?
RNG.
Your luck?
No, not my luck.
Oh, okay.
Tonight, we actually, just right now, I picked the winner for our Scuff giveaway.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Oh.
they get a 1 month free subscription to Humble Bundle,
Mm.
and they get a custom Scuff controller. So congratulations to John Maynard at Mangry Gamer on Twitter.
That's
Mangry.
Mangry Gamer. John, he's where I'm going to reach out to you on Twitter, and congratulations. You'll get a link that you can send in your favorite Scuff controller, get all the bells and whistles you want, and it'll get shipped to you as soon as you send it out. So that is great RNG, and congratulations, and thank you to everybody who participated in that giveaway.
What just happened to that baby?
Well, sometimes you gotta smack them into a couple doors before they
Is
stop
someone
crying.
getting bacon babied over there?
Bacon baby.
You got the kids in my house. They get raised right. You speak up. You cry too much. You bang them into a couple doors. That's not what happened. We have big sliding doors that close off the room that I'm in. So
It's 10:41. Should we do some Twitter questions?
it is actually 7:41.
Right, my bad. Let's do.
Actually, it's 8:41.
It's
You're all wrong.
10:41.
Sorry.
No,
It's
that's
definitely-
clearly incorrect.
Definitely
Eastern time
7:41.
zone is
It's
the right time
7:41.
zone.
Oh my god.
Before we do, we'd like to thank our sponsor, On Air PC. On Air PC, if you are a streamer looking to build a new streaming PC or a gamer looking to build a new gaming PC, and give On Air PC a call. You follow them at On Air PC1, or give them a call at 330-850-1525. And they'll be happy to help you out building a new PC to suit your needs. This isn't the kind of thing that you go to a website and you have to select, like from 30 different motherboards and 16 different processors. And like, what does all this crazy shit mean? You give On Air PC a phone call. Ryan picks up the phone and he helps you pick out the parts that suit your needs the best.
Ryan was awesome, and he helped me out to order my game and my rig, and it came perfect. It's just awesome. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, he really is helpful. He knows his shit. He can build the PC, get it shipped out to you. If you want something that looks amazing with tons of tempered glass and RGB RAM and rainbow colored lights all over the place, it looks like the unicorn vomit all over the place. That's what he can do. If you want something that just looks black and stealthy and runs quiet, he can also do that. So give him a call if you're a new streamer or you're an established streamer and you just need to get that second PC built for streaming, or if you want to build a brand new gaming PC at a reasonable price, On Air PC can help you out. Again, the phone number is 330-850-1525.
Questions.
Twitter questions?
Let's do it.
All right.
Questions.
We got 7 pages of these. So,
Oh, would you look at the time? I gotta go.
You know what? It is 10:41. Okay, gotta go, guys.
It is, yeah. So we're late. It's time for bed.
Definitely late.
Ghost says, what goes through your head when you get to each part of the raid you haven't done yet? Do you just start it and see what happens, or you scope out the area looking for anything that seems important?
Yeah, I touched on this earlier for sure, but I mean, first thing, anything obvious. So the first part of the raid, hey, there's a big relic in the ground. Let's grab it. Let's start throwing it at things. A common theme with Bungie is plates. Are there things that we can stand on? Are there buffs? Are there debuffs on the left of our screen? Like, what does that mean? Does everybody have this? So, for example, when we got to the boss fight, phase 1, some of us were like, I have sustained, and some of us were like, I don't have sustained. And we immediately realized that, the people with sustained are going to be doing something that the people without sustained aren't. So that's how we figured to send somebody up. But it's a lot of just being very vocal, like what's on your screen, what's around you. Hey, come over here and step on this one. This one, there's 2 plates on this side. It's symmetrical on the other side. This is probably a hint. And then it's just a lot of ideas. Sometimes we have a little safe word that we call out, what was our word for this one? Coil or something. Or when we shout that, it's just everybody shut up. I have an idea. this is what I'm going to say. And if it sounds like something, we go and we try it. And if we fail, then we try something else.
That's cool.
Yeah. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things about raiding when you get to jump in and see brand new arena, brand new mechanics. It's one of the coolest things that you can experience as a Destiny player, to have that where you don't know, because it only happens a handful of times, and it's great. I love it.
Yeah, this year has been chock full of it too. Like it's refreshing not to be on the 1 year raid a year schedule. I'm hoping that we don't get back to that next year.
Yeah.
I'm
I
really
love the
hopeful
raid
that we
layers.
continue to get DLC next year.
Yeah,
I think the raid layers are awesome.
How do you guys? How do you feel about that? Like,
I think they're cool because it feels like one big build up to the climax of a boss, and everything is just built up to one boss instead of, I don't mind the not having multiple bosses, because I don't go into it thinking that it's going to be a huge King's Fall or Vault of Glass. I go into it knowing that I can't wait to get to the boss fight, and I like that anticipation factor that raid layers give me.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people complain that it's short, like the raid layers are super short and stuff, but
Doesn't feel
I
that short for
prefer
me.
having an actual raid than not having a raid.
Yeah.
Right, that's another option, right? Because in D1, it's like you get a raid, and then you won't get a raid for a DLC, and then maybe you'll get a raid. So it's like this is a way of getting one big raid, then you get a smaller raid and another smaller raid every DLC. So you're getting some kind of raid content, and it's not like they're bad. Like the boss fights have been amazing in these raid layers.
Yeah, they're the best. They're way better than Callus.
Yeah.
Really
They've definitely been better than Callus.
I think the Argos like boss fight itself specifically was perfect. Like it introduced mechanics you had to do. It also introduced DPS check, and also had to introduce like tons of ads like swarming you all at the same time. And the same thing happened with
off into space in there.
That arena is just fun to fight in too. Like you're jumping around, you got to stay mobile. There's plenty of stuff to shoot at. Like so many times, like in King's Fall, my biggest complaint was that there's so many times where you're just standing still, and that kind of got boring to me after a lot of playthroughs. But with the Argos boss fight, it's like you're just moving constantly. You're doing something constantly. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that arena is amazing.
I get that same feeling when you're playing on Callus. You all stand on one plate and you just shoot the boss. He doesn't like really do anything to your back or anything.
The only issue with the raid layers though is that they got to get the loot figured out. It's got to be interesting.
Yeah,
they need a full suite of weapons. They need to be worth going after, because just having 2 weapons and like reskinned armor doesn't make people want to grind the content.
I am very much convinced that I'll do this raid layer a couple of times, and that I'll be kind of like, well, I got other things I could do. Like I'm not gonna just play it for playing its sake. I already played it.
The first week when as far as Stars came out, they sold the entire raid set except for the boots.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Like where's the grind?
Yeah.
It's
like, you have to complete the raid to do it, but you
version of the old one.
still want to grind for it. You still want to, as a raid player, you don't want to finish the raid and be like, okay, let's go buy everything. You still want to have something to work towards.
Exactly. And that's like,
it's a shame.
That's why Vogue, Crota as well, and King's Fall, and Wrath of Machine as well. I mean, all of them had those weapons in there that were sought after, that you wanted to go back in and get those. And that, I feel like that's not really there in these raids. Like, their Midnight Coup is good, and Legend of Acurus is good, but a lot of it is replaceable by legendaries that you can just get throughout the game.
The armor too, with the fact that the full set was split up between 3 different raids, basically, and the armor is now a reskin of the last one's armor. Like, they definitely need unique armor for each one of them. The armor has to have interesting perks on each of them. And different perks. I'm not super thrilled that like the armor is interchangeable. Like I'd like it to be unique to each raid layer, and then they need a unique set of weapons for each one.
I don't mind that it's interchangeable. I just want interesting perks for the raid that are more than just mods.
Yeah, they didn't do that. Destiny 1, every raid had raid perks on the raid armor that helped you in the raid, and whoever designed the Titan raid layer armor.
Thick.
I mean, someone had
They
to
must have
design
been-
it, and someone had to approve it. So
Whoever, like, who let that by? They must have really liked Beatles or something. I don't know what was going on.
Listen,
I think it looks awesome.
I've recently acquired the taste of pumpkin, and I have colored
You
everything
are
orange.
a walking beetle.
yeah, it's tough. I was peeping out your Titan yesterday. Ugh.
It's glorious.
Travel and chit chat.
Not good.
It's glorious, man. It turns
The
heads.
the Titan
Yeah, I bet
arms.
it does. I didn't know they had VW bugs to this game.
It's so bad.
I did the end of the Warmind cutscene with it. I forgot that there was a cutscene, and boom, huge pumpkin beetle dwarfing Zavala, just super serious. Anna's like, "God damn, who the hell's here?" It was fantastic.
Yo, what is with Zavala being a straight up bitch in the Warmind campaign?
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
He's too serious.
Oh
man.
my god.
Also, he was hiding in the
Destiny
door,
1
waiting for his super to charge when we were fighting those enemies.
We all know his fighting ability. You'd be hiding too.
True.
Yeah.
We've seen him.
He's
We've
not
seen
great.
him drop
True,
down.
true,
and
true.
It's not good. It's funny too. In Destiny 1, he was all about the Warmind. He was like the biggest proponent, right? And now in Destiny 2, he's like, whoa, let's hold back. This is dangerous.
Yeah.
This is
What
unknown.
What have you done?
What have you done, Guardian?
They always do.
Brad says, can you ask Glad about his preferred PvE loadouts to maximize fun and damage?
Fun and damage?
Yeah. Are they the
God.
same thing to you, or are they?
I already know what I'm gonna say here.
Yep, Skyburner's oath. Here we go.
If you're under leveled, I'm gonna go with Better Devils. If you are on par with the raid encounters, definitely Midnight Coup. Midnight Coup is a better gun if you can quickly, one tap most things. I'll tell you what though, this new Skyburner's Oath is no joke. This thing is amazing.
It's so fun.
Oh, it's fun.
It's so fun.
It literally destroys the yellow bar enemies in the new raid lair boss fight. Those
Does it
things
really?
come out, and it just wrecks them. Yeah, but you have to hip fire it. Don't ADS it. I also just realized that ADSing it is also full auto. I didn't know that both were full auto.
Oh,
But,
it's so slow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so that is a really good gun, and it's really fun as well.
The grenades track like
Yeah,
crazy.
They will
just
turn.
bend.
They will turn around corners and hit
Yeah.
enemies. It's
Mhm.
insane.
It is really fun to
Um,
use.
And then cluster bomb rockets are still the best thing to use on any boss as of now. You
Yeah.
can't really shotgun this new guy. So cluster bombs are cool, but sleepers also really
Seems like the
overpowered.
Darcy made a run at the top there, but it's gotten beaten down by the cluster bombs.
Well,
again,
the
huh?
problem with Darcy in the new fight is you have to hit crits on it, and it's
Yeah.
really hard to get into a position to consistently crit this boss without getting destroyed by missiles, unless you have somebody that's on missile duty. If you have a auto rifle like Valakadin, you just have them target the missiles that the boss shoots, and they get destroyed pretty easily.
Like Axiom
Yeah,
bolts.
so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how many people actually know that though.
Yeah.
That you can actually kill them.
Yeah, that's the first I heard of it. So.
Yeah.
Dominic Zulo says, now that you understand the raid encounter, does that make it easier, or is it mechanic heavy enough to be hard every time? I kind of asked you the question earlier, so I'm going to skip it.
Yeah.
Epic says, I'm sorry, Dominic, I stole your question. Epic says, he's got two questions. He doubled up here. To guess,
Wow.
did you have any issues, complaints about the raid layer? Congrats on world's first completion. Did you guys have any complaints about it?
My only complaint would be it's obviously for like a challenge aspect. It's not really any like low man things you could do on it. Other than that, it's a phenomenal raid. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's amazing. The loot is not that good, so
Oh,
that
yeah,
would be
the
my
loot,
biggest
but-
complaint. But like Modern said, I think from our clan's perspective, we did it with 5 men, and that's right now the lowest that's possible. Like I said, we're testing other strategies to do it with lower people. Clearly, this is going to be for a very small percentage of the population. But these questions are directed at us, so that's definitely a complaint. It seems like they're really doing a lot to make these raids not soloable, considering every single raid in Destiny 1 was soloable, or at least every raid boss.
I mean, when you had warlocks that could come back to life, I mean,
If you could self-res, you could solo Callus, and that's it. You could still not solo Argos. and you could
Right.
not solo this one either. Yeah.
And then he has another question, which usually I will not allow to have happen, but this was so good. Tefty, I blame your Midnight Coup shaming for the lack of DCP Worlds first. Love the show.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's fine. You know, I had a falling out with the Midnight Coup because, you know, the off-brand Walmart version is so prevalent nowadays because Benedict's selling it multiple times. But once I re-equipped it for the Warmind and started just, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. I love the Midnight Coup.
I missed it when I was on console. I
That's
really
amazing.
did.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. I went hipster there for a little bit. I was like, DFA. Not everybody's
for
got
a
the
little
DFA. This is it.
Hefty, you were hipster for a while.
DFA is my new jam.
A long time.
Screw the Midnight
Very
Coup.
long time.
It's readily available. Everybody's got it. Hell no. But then as soon as I re-equipped it, I was like, oh yes. This is
feels
it.
so good.
It's just too good.
It feels good. It like the perks
It
work
looks
so good.
good.
It's
Why is it better
150
than? Why is it better than Better Devils?
If it's
It's 100. It fires faster.
so yeah, the faster fire rate.
It's got Outlaw. It's got Rampage.
So it does more damage.
Yeah,
but
it's
The
just,
only it has crappy range. That's the biggest flaw.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
That's a
best
chit,
option.
the hand cannon.
It's the best option for red bar enemies. If you're going against yellow bars, you want to use heavy, essentially.
Or
It's
Better
also-
Devils.
Yeah,
it's
Better
also
Devils is better for them.
really good in PvP. Like I can't get over it in PvP.
On PC.
Like-
Yeah.
Well, yeah, all hand cannons are trash on PlayStation.
Well, Better Devils
That's
is
not
actually
true.
decent. For,
I know. I'm being,
They don't
Be
feel
the
like
day.
PC though.
but
Well,
yeah,
that's
it
because-
is.
yeah.
It is so crispy on PC, and like, if you get Rampage to proc, it becomes a 3-shot kill weapon, and it's got Outlaw. So Rampage, like getting Rampage,
Yeah.
reloading with Outlaw, it's much more natural than. Something like the Dire Promise like has the same fire rate at the same time to kill, but it doesn't have the perks to back it up like the Midnight Coup does.
Midnight Coup eventually just ends up one-shotting pretty much everything. When you have
Yeah.
Rampage times 3,
Yep.
and it just keeps refreshing and refreshing and refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and they actually improved Outlaw, so now Outlaw refreshes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have that
Yep.
cooldown timer on Outlaw.
So it's real.
Yeah. It's a
I mean, you can hold down Prestige Gauntlet by yourself on
Yep.
any character comfortably. with
exactly.
Midnight Coup.
That's what I was gonna say. The
Yeah.
Gauntlet's a great example on that. Like, as
Mhm.
long as you're hitting crits, you can handle one side all by yourself until the
Yeah.
Centurion comes out. Then you just hit him with the accuracy.
Yeah.
Yep.
You cannot do that with Better Devils.
No.
Not as well.
Yep.
I just feel so comfortable with the Better Devils. I'll try it again.
Better Devils
Yeah.
is I feel like an easier gun to use because it feels like it. The Midnight Coup, I feel like my cursor actually has to be aimed at an enemy's head to pop that headshot. And with Better Devils, I feel like it's more forgiving. And I feel like on console, like that really helps it on console, especially. And then the
Mhm.
explosion kind of also helps with that.
Are you
Better
saying
Devil-
that I can't hit headshots? Is that what you're saying, Brian?
No, I'm saying that the gun feels more forgiving.
hmm
Um,
For easier players, for players like me that
Well,
can't
on
hit headshots.
console, yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying.
Explosive rounds seem to have a bigger target.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really
they,
does.
they do. They,
Definitely.
and for me, literally, I mean, I'm not that great of a player. So for me, shooting a hand cannon that has like that explosive range in a PvE, I enjoy it. But I'm definitely gonna give it a try.
You haven't tried it yet? You haven't used it at all?
I used it, but then I like the DFA and the Better Devils
Better
more. I didn't want to go up against Tefty was all
You need to
like
get used to it. The coup
he was all like
fires a
midnight
little
coup,
weird.
midnight coup, coup.
He-
And so I'm like, all right, I'll give it a
It
shot.
has
But
a
then I tried
specific
it and I'm like,
recoil,
nah, I didn't like it.
What Watson's saying is 100% true. This is what I find. If I've been using the Midnight Coup extensively, then I'll try other hand cannons and it will feel weird. But if I've been using other hand cannons, like say the old fashioned, then come back to the Midnight Coup, there's this period where my aim is off with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just like the recoil pattern and everything and how the way the Better Devils
Yeah,
feel.
it just feels slightly different.
One thing I've never been able to get on board with the 180 rate of fire hand cannons, but going to console and using them there, it's a whole different story. They are so good on
They're
console. Like I can't stand them. on PC. Like I can't stand them. Like the way the recoil pops up like completely obscures your target.
Well, they
and
also
if the guy's
changed.
strafing, it still does it though.
They changed it with the Warmind DLC though. Like
Yeah,
with that
it does it.
patch,
It's
they
better now.
changed the animation.
It's better, but it still does it.
That-
like you still lose your target. when it goes up.
The Kilos hand cannon is actually pretty decent. It's not a midnight coup, but I was still enjoying using it.
Well, they have really good inner accuracy, which is why
Nice.
they're
Yeah.
super, super good.
Ringo the Dingo says, after beating Bungie at their own game, how does it feel still being undefeated, and who's next?
Oh.
I think I'm retiring.
It did feel good. It did feel good beating
Should we
Bungie
just
at their own
retire?
game.
I think
Let's be clear,
once
we
you
did beat them at their own game.
what do you do when you've reached the top of the mountain?
Retire.
Right? I mean,
Mm.
Man,
you're-
you
Yeah.
look down and you just survey
And you stay
all
there,
that you
yeah.
have destroyed.
that's why we had to have Glad and and Modern on. I mean, like they are giants in the game, just like us, right?
Just
And-
like us. Just
And
like
it's
Just like exactly the same.
I mean, and they're at the pinnacle. We're at the top of the mountain, and what do? Right? So maybe I just reach out to you guys. Maybe you can answer this for us. What do you do now that you've reached the top?
Can't relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
I
You
came
beat
on here
Bungie at
trying to
their
learn
game.
from you.
Oh no. You beat their raid, their hardest attempt at a challenge, and you beat it first, man. It's just like us. We're like two peas in a pod here.
All right, so and you guys got lucky too.
Yes. We had Watts on our team. That was
that's where our
Basically.
luck came from.
Yep.
that was it.
We had Watts on our team,
No,
and we
so-
paid off Holtz to
Yeah,
sandbag.
he threw it for sure.
Yeah.
Swear to God, that check's in the mail. I swear.
Yeah.
Just
And
don't cash it till Friday.
But what's funny though, like, Glad, like we do this thing of like, it's a running joke, but hashtag undefeated is the podcast, throwdowns that we've done against other podcasts in the Destiny community.
Yeah.
And we always come up with a contingency plan as to how, if we lose, we're still undefeated,
Mhm.
right? It's
Yeah.
it's just our backup plan. And in this one, we had a fit. It was that we had 2 outs on this one, better than anything else, right? So Patrick was technically on the other team, correct? So
That would
and
still
he's
be a win.
technically still part of the podcast. So he's technically
Does that?
makes us undefeated.
But that
right?
doesn't that technically mean that we have
No,
a
it
loss?
doesn't go negative. It
No.
can't be a
Oh, of
negative.
course, I forgot.
Right. Right. And then so the other piece of this is they're not technically a podcast. See,
Mhm.
these guys they have a podcast, but these were the members that were not on the podcast. So
Yeah.
therefore it was not going to be a podcast.
Right.
So
Mhm.
We like to
Okay.
call it the dream team loop.
Yeah.
the dream
The
team
dream
loophole.
team loophole.
Yeah.
The only team that has beaten us
In court,
was the dream
in
team.
court, it's the DCP versus Dream Team
Hey,
case.
you should be a lawyer looking through all these
Mhm.
legal loopholes.
Yep.
It's and Mr. Fruit has tried to challenge it, right? Obviously,
yeah.
he got struck down. He took it to the highest court. It
He
went all
even
the way to
formed
the
a
Supreme
podcast.
Court. And,
Right?
I mean, he
That
formed a
lasted
podcast
all of-
after the fact.
Yeah.
After the fact.
Yeah.
Still haven't heard anything.
So, no,
No.
I mean,
Well, now I'm here. So.
Yeah, Watts is here.
Yeah, I
So
mean-
bring it on.
so we're ready for their, if they want to, anytime, I'll put it out there. We've retired, right? But like any great champion,
Mhm. Mhm.
if that one that got away, right? If Mr. Fruit and his fruity bunch of players wants to step up to the ring and go to toe to toe with us, I mean, now that he has a podcast, I'll accept it.
Oh yeah?
Oh, I'll accept it. The gauntlet's been thrown. Even
I
though
guess
we're
I better
retired,
be
I will come out of
DMing Blue
retirement.
I'm
here.
retired.
Better get
Anyway,
Follow-up question, actually. Jimbo says, was Holtz getting a job at Bungie all part of DCP's elaborate plan so he could join the Bungie team and throw the matches in the
Yes.
Bungie versus Chain?
100% correct. Yes.
Look, you could believe that he threw the match, or you could believe he's just bad at PvP. It's up to you. You decide. Next question. Martin Lee says. Martin Lee says, "What, in your opinion, is the most effective way of leveling for the raid lair?" It's do the other raids. Do them all. Do them often.
Milestones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like
that
5 milestones per week, but there's like
Mhm.
I think
But there's
Dado
a
made a video.
specific
There's like
order.
21 power engrams that you can get out of the raids.
There's a
Yeah.
specific order you're supposed to do them in to get to level up faster. I read a post on it, and you guys would probably be better at it. It's just basically you level up your guy, and then you go and do the milestones, and then you do the raids in normal first, and then prestige in that order.
Yeah.
And it
Same thing with the Nightfall too. Now, somebody told me yesterday that I should do the prestige then the normal. I don't really know why. I don't really think it matters that much. But if you're
You get
really
the normal
nitpicky,
drops with the prestige.
Yeah, it would be 2 drops. It would cut your light drops.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I do
you do-
normal
you-
then prestige.
Mhm.
Same thing
Yeah.
with Leviathan. But a trick is to always balance your character. So let's say you're getting up to a certain light and you got a helmet drop, gloves, chest, mark, but you don't have the boots. What you can do is you can go to a place where you have a lot of tokens. Example would be Benedict or the Vanguard, and all the blues will drop 5 light levels below your modded gear, your purple modded gear. So you just keep turning in the tokens until you get those boots that are really low, then infuse them into your legendaries, and then everything will be balanced up, and then turn in your milestones.
So just to clarify on that, though, those boots that you're talking about have to be below 10 points of light from your currently modded gear. So if you're 365, those boots need to be like 354, and then you'll get a.
So if you're 365, your blues will drop at 355. So if you have boots that are below 360 and your character's 365, then you will have boots that will drop at 355, and then when you mod them, it'll be 360 above.
Yeah, and that goes for both legendary engrams and also blues that drop naturally out in the wild.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's always make sure before you turn in a milestone, go and balance your character first.
Yep.
And same thing works with weapons as well.
How do you prevent the system from giving you 4 pairs of gloves in a row?
You just get really good at RNG. That takes a lot of
How does
practice.
How do
one
you
get
do
good
that?
at RNG?
Yeah. Asking for a friend, of course.
I don't know. You can't ask Modern. His RNG is pretty crap.
It can't be that bad if you were
The
370.
highest light.
Yeah,
Not. What's your
second
highest?
highest.
See, I was the highest slave when the game first came out,
Mm.
and that was only because I did like the super hardcore deleted character, made a new character, and we did that. We were making characters like 2 characters in a day.
Jeez,
And-
man.
Yeah.
I remember those days, the Vault of Glass days.
Yeah, we would make the character and then just do the milestones real quick, do like the Mida quest, and then we'll wipe the character, restart it, and that was basically the grind when the game first came out.
Hardcore.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this. How do you guys feel about the fact that they took away the releveling an additional character, or even if you had 3 hunters, essentially the light level drops are not going to affect it now.
Don't matter.
How do you guys feel about that? Good, yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I like it too. I like having 3 different characters. Being tempted to make like 3 of the same characters. Like I'd rather just not be tempted.
Yeah,
I have like an
Like
eight,
the
I
way
have
the
8
system
deleted.
is now, it's definitely good that it's like that.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I think it's pretty close to the best system that we've got so far. They just need to work out those kinks of like guaranteeing those high level drops. Make those last 10 points a little more interesting for RNG. So you're not always getting the higher
Definitely
level.
Be like what it was when Taken King first came out.
Mhm, yeah,
It wasn't a smart loot system. It was basically like it dropped between this range and there. And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like how it works now. Like I don't mind the
Nah.
milestone system, but I don't really like the fact that like you're basically required to run the raid like multiple times on all your characters, and it's like so much more rewarding than anything else you could possibly do. I'd like a little more variety there, to be honest.
I think that they just need to pace those drops. Like I said, the smart loot system kind of kills some of that. So you're kind of guaranteed this progression, and instead of making it just milestone progression, make it so that legendaries and other stuff will drop or have a chance at dropping higher, but it's a lot less likely the higher you go up.
And
Yeah.
the 1-to-1 infusion as well.
Yeah.
That's another big thing.
Mm-hmm.
At least
Yeah.
they got rid of cross character infusion.
Yeah. Yep.
But I was talking to one of our world's first members, Flesh Crunch, and he's very adamant. He doesn't like how the weapons light affects your power level, and I think that makes a lot of sense because what everybody does is they grind weapons up on one character, then transfer it over to your other character, and your other character already has a huge power bump.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think weapon, and I totally agree with him. I think weapon power level should not affect your character. It should be strictly character to character, individual armor pieces, no cross infusion. I would like the infusion system maybe to be toned down a little bit from 1-to-1. And yeah, we all remember those King's Fall days trying to get to 320, getting constant 311 drops over and over and
Right.
over. I would not
Mhm.
mind if that returned, honestly.
Yeah.
It was a fun grind.
The OG Destiny 1 had was like that for the weapons,
Mhm.
where they
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
affect
yeah,
your
it was.
power, your level.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
You're
and,
right.
and then you had the
Yeah.
defense stat too.
Yeah, you had attack power and defense
That's right.
stat, and it was
Yep.
like
That's
you were
right.
forever 29 because you didn't get a helmet or something.
Yep.
Yep.
Boots.
It's double-edged sword. Like there was a lot of pros and a lot of cons to both.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
I think what now I don't have any specific examples, but I think what Bungie ultimately needs to do, and there's always going to be those people that are going to hate the game if it's not an exact replica of D1, whatever. But for the people, like myself that are going to always have hope no matter how bad the game gets or how sticky of a situation it's in, but I think this Warmind DLC is an excellent step in the right direction, and I think they need to find a really good balance between hardcore and more casual players.
Yeah.
And I'm going to quote Slayer on this. He was once asked, how would you define a Destiny casual? And he said, somebody that's not emotionally invested in the game. And I think that's a really, really good definition of what separates a casual player between a hardcore player. And I think if you build the entire game towards a casual player, you're going to really not satisfy the needs of the hardcore players and a lot of the people that create content for the game and a lot of your big streamers. I'm definitely not saying that content creators, YouTubers, and streamers are better than people that don't create content. That's not what I'm
Right.
saying at all. But I'm saying that those are people that are going to provide exposure to your game, promote your game, ultimately create a lot of hype for your game. Whereas if you create a game that's based around a hardcore player in mind as well, you're going to satisfy the needs of the hardcore player and the casual player.
Yeah.
So think about an amusement park. If you took out all of the hardcore thrill rides, the roller coasters, all the big boy stuff, you would satisfy all the casual amusement parkers that go there and do all the easier stuff, but all the hardcore amusement parkers, wouldn't get their needs fixed. Whereas amusement parks, if you put all the rides in, all the big stuff, not everybody's going to be able to ride all that stuff, but you're going to satisfy all the casuals and all the hardcore people that go. And, I think they need to think of the game more like that. And it's just somebody that plays the game, 41 hours a week and somebody that plays the game 5 hours a week, there should be a difference. The person that invests more time in the game should have maybe some things that the person that plays it less has. And I think they just need to bite the bullet on that and just accept the fact that, I don't know, that's ultimately how I think it needs to be for the game to fully succeed at its highest potential.
100%.
I think it's
Yeah.
also about knowing your audience when it comes to making difficulties of that activity, right? So like campaign, does that need to be just straight up super hardcore no matter what? No, it doesn't need to be. Raid, does it need to be? Yes, because it's end game. Who are the people that are going to be playing that raid? It's going to be the more hardcore people, right? So it's knowing your audience and knowing how to create experiences for the correct audience. You can't make end game casual. Like that's not going to work. It's not going to make any sense.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
I agree with you.
I really like Vicarious Visions too. I am super excited of what future content they create, because I don't know how much they actually worked on this raid. I don't know the specifics, but excellent job on their part. And I don't really know what else they have done, but I'm really excited, and I hope Bungie keeps that team on board, because watching their reaction to the world's first completion and playing their raid. I like it. I
Yeah.
like what I see.
I think they're a big part of that team.
Yeah.
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 So it's I really think that Vicarious Visions did a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
And I know they
did.
worked really closely with Bungie in making sure it was balanced to what the vision of Destiny 2 and like how it looked and felt
It doesn't
and everything.
feel like a different company made it.
No.
Like it feels
That's,
like
that's
Destiny.
the power of
No.
it.
Yeah.
That's how close they work together.
I mean, when you're playing a Call of Duty game and it feels completely different from year to year because they got different studios making it, it doesn't feel like that at all. It
Which
really
is amazing.
feels.
You know what? I get the impression it feels like people who loved D1 made the expansion.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yes. I bet you they all play Destiny like a crap ton in
Mhm.
D1. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the impression I get, which makes me very excited for the future expansions that they work on. Because obviously Bungie's working on the fall expansion, but that also means that Vicarious Vision is most likely working on another expansion to follow that up. So I'd say it's good stuff.
Yeah. Do you think it's a
Hopefully this
relationship?
means we're going to get more rapid fire pace on DLCs, right? Like the one expansion a year thing was not really satisfying me
No.
for the last 2 years of Destiny
Yeah.
1. I'm really hoping that we now see a much faster pace in. I'll take the pace we're on. Like I'm happy with the pace we're on
Mhm.
as far as.
Well, do you
frequency.
guys taking a look at Call of Duty? How Infinity Ward was the main studio, right? And then Treyarch was kind of behind the scenes making some stuff for them, and then eventually rose up to prominence, and they started to make these, 1 year one team, 1 year the other team, and off and on.
Yeah.
Until
And,
they eventually made 3 teams.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sledgehammer got put in there
Mhm.
too. Yeah.
Right. So I'm not opposed to them increasing, because like what we've been asking for more content, I literally feel like it needs to be more studios.
Well,
And so more people connected to the IP.
It's interesting. I'm not a developer, obviously, so I can't say the timelines and how long it takes for certain things to be made. But I'm still of the opinion that there is a huge amount of content that they could leverage in Destiny 2 right now when it comes to grind. Because just like what you were talking about, Glad, the person who is invested emotionally is the one that wants the experiences and the loot from the game and to play with friends for those things. And that involves things to chase. There's a whole bunch of things that they added to chase in this game, and they could add a crap ton more with all of the adventures and lost sectors and so on and so forth. It requires
Those are completely unleveraged.
completely unleveraged. I mean, they could be having things change in the public spaces on a biweekly process that really is things that drop. Like every season, I don't understand why they don't make raids drop new gear with each season.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Why not refresh the weapons and the armor for the raid? Or if the armor's too much, because you said it's expensive for the designers to come up with that high level of content, how about just the weapons then? Refresh the whole weapon system when it comes to the raids every season. Suddenly, I am excited to raid and get all those drops every time the season drops. Just like I'm excited about the new things that might be coming out of
Like Iron Banner.
Yeah, Iron Banner,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I
That'd
think
be amazing.
Hawthorne needs to go.
Yes.
I don't like those engrams at all. I'm
Bring
sorry
Tess
if I'm
over
hurting
with it.
feelings here, but if you don't play the game, you shouldn't be getting raid drops.
Well, I disagree with you, and I'm going to push back on that because I don't disagree with you with raid drops. I don't. I agree with you that her reward system needs to be adjusted. That
Definitely.
you should, if you've completed the activity, you should be able to unlock drops for your clan in that area. So I agree with you on that.
I just don't like the idea of getting end game loot if you don't play the game. That's my biggest
That's why they
issue.
changed it, right?
It's
They made it where you don't get trials or raid specific stuff.
But apparently you're supposed
Right,
to
I
get light
agree.
level appropriate stuff. And it's just a bug that's not dropping.
Yes.
Right. I mean, I agree with you guys that I think what they were trying to do with clans.
I'm sorry, Pope. You can wait though, and it'll go to your postmaster at the end of the week, and it will be light level appropriate when it hits.
Yeah.
the
True,
quota.
true.
Oh, so she doesn't drop raid stuff anymore. That's good.
No, not right now.
They took that
Okay.
out of with the
They changed
Warmind.
it to Vanguard and Crucible instead of Trials and Raid.
Right. So they listened to that, and I feel like it's important for the clan system to be totally reworked, because what they were trying to do with it is to get more people to engage in clans to help them promote. So I think
that was successful too,
to a certain extent. I just think that the system needs to be improved to continue to steer people towards clans, because that's how they're going to get the most out of the game. But I don't know exactly. I don't think Hawthorne was the way to do it, but I think it was a good try at it. They're gonna have to change it up.
So
I think Hawken, sorry to interrupt,
No,
but
you're good.
Hawken just said something in chat who said Hawthorne should be a clan management NPC. If I could go to her and manage my clan, so I have the option of doing it on my PC, on my phone, in game, that would be nice, because there's a lot of the time where I'm like, I don't want to have to go on Bungie.net. That freaking sucks. I hate that website, and deal with all of that to manage my clan. Like, I would love to just see it in game and have easy access to seeing when the last time someone logged on was. Are they still active? Being able to kick them out, invite people. Like, I would
Sure.
A message board
from one
Yeah,
thing. Yeah,
message board stuff.
all of that would be great.
Yep.
I feel like having this stuff like in the game, like the developers talking to us through the game, will be amazing instead of going to like
Yeah.
their site. And
I agree.
You're so
The
correct.
TWAB in the game.
On
like you
PC,
go
can
you
kinda
go to the
get that
tower and
way,
you like
but
turn around and there's like a whole message board saying like
that would be awesome.
it has the weekly update there and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so there's like upcoming patches.
Absolutely. That would be huge.
For the people who like don't even go to Bungie and they don't even know what the weekly update is and stuff like that, like they'll be aware of it.
Yep.
yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't
because my
have to be
mom's
in
like, what?
public.
Like,
it doesn't
Mom,
have
I
to be like
understand.
displayed like publicly with flashing lights. It could be like in a kiosk where you got to
Yeah.
go like
Yeah.
log into the kiosk. Go, hey, here's your clan stuff. Here's the weekly news stuff. Here's
Yeah.
So I think the only challenge that I had, Glad, when I was looking at
Wait.
raid rewards, and I think that this is what
I just want to say on the rewards for Hawthorne, the problem the problem with that stuff right now is that it's engram based and there's no economy for actual parts and stuff aside from weapon parts and legendary marks. And that's honestly what she should award. If you want to reward people for doing stuff in a clan, it should be economy type of parts and things in the system to help you grow your loot. Instead of giving you the loot, it needs to be actual stuff that helps you with that. But the economy doesn't exist yet, and I'm hoping some of that returns in the fall.
Sure.
We had some of that in D1, but it was a little too it was too taxing for the type of grind to go and collect that stuff. But that would help. Then it would be great. Then like, okay, I turn in and I get like a package of 100 weapon parts from her. Like, in essence, that, but a little bit more complicated.
So what I think that needs to be what happened. So let me phrase this. So the people that are in clans that haven't done the raid, you don't need to worry about them. I mean, they're the people that have not a lot of time to play, and we're trying to get them into doing end game activities. So the idea is to give them a taste of something, but not give them the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the ways that one of the ideas that's been thrown around is like adept weapons, right? Something that differentiates you from a hardcore raider that's done it and many times, and you've done it on prestige and whatever. And so maybe there's perks that are associated to that so that you can help others do it easier, do the prestige mode easier, and so that you can feel comfortable to Sherpa people through, right? Those are some of the ways that clans can help be supportive of others. And having a gun that is maybe has some benefit to being in the raid that is no different than something else, but then has a benefit to being in the raid that they can then go in there and makes that raid accessible at that point. A perk or something that allows them to go into that raid that benefits them and will allow them to make it accessible. I think what we may not be looking at is that I don't even want to call them casuals. These are people that maybe aren't skilled raiders and they want to try it. They're gonna, I don't know, they need the support to do that. And I don't know if that's exactly the system that we need to implement, but they need to be thought of because they're a hell of a larger population than we are in the game. They're a larger piece of the puzzle and they need to be figured out how to get people into the game and to access the in-game activity.
But aren't there other ways? I mean, there's plenty other ways to reach light levels that could be acquired through doing a raid without doing the raid. I mean, you don't need.
I don't think it's a light level issue though. It's a how do we get these clans? How do we get to them engage with other people? You know,
in-game LFG.
You always heard the stat in Destiny 1.
In-game
You always heard
LFG.
the
Seriously,
stat.
yeah.
I don't know that in-game LFG would really work.
It
But
absolutely
so many
would
people go
work.
to LFG websites. Like I hear all the time people going.
But
to
those are
LFG
people.
websites.
I feel like those are people that like already have that call, right? 'Cause we always heard
clans formed.
Hold on, let me at least finish
Okay.
my fucking sentence. We always heard about the stat in Destiny 1 of like 3% of the player population total doing the raid, right? Even starting the raid. Like those are the people. That 3% includes the people that went to LFG. Those like all those people took that step. What I feel like Hawthorne is trying to do is entice people to take that step, right? Is, you know, yes, an in-game LFG would be amazing, but what they're trying to do is actually get people to actually move past. Okay, I did the campaign, I did some strikes. This game was fun. I'm going to go play God of War. You know, like they're trying to get people to figure out why there is staying power in this game.
So LFGs formed clans. If there was an in-game LFG, there's a lot more clan activity that would be formed. Just straight up.
I agree with you. An in-game LFG would be great, but I don't think it addresses the people who just never engaged with it at all. Right? They haven't engaged. They never saw the benefit of going that extra mile.
I mean, some people are just not going to do it, though.
But I think to Tefty's point, and what I'm hearing Tefty say is that like one of the ways that we can make it more accessible to that person is making it easier to find people.
Easier inside the game. I agree with that. Totally.
And I feel like there's some risks associated to jumping into a raid with randoms that maybe don't have a mic and all that other stuff, and that may be a bad experience for. I don't know. There is a real chance that you're going to jump in there and just have a horrible experience.
That's the chance we take on regular LFG.
But there's a chance that you're going to meet somebody randomly and they're going to end up becoming your best friend. You know, you never know. You're muted, Watts.
If you don't like the people you end up being with, you can always just leave.
Yeah.
You don't need to stay in that experience. And the problem right now is with guided games, you wait for an hour to get into a group. You end up not liking them. You feel like you're stuck with that group. Whereas if it's a lot easier for people to access strangers, you can get in there and be like, this group sucks. I'm leaving. I'm going to queue up for another one.
Yeah. I just think they need to open up their expectations of what, how people get into these activities and recognize that they could incorporate the clan system into these LFG groups, like a pop-up that says, hey, did you guys enjoy your experience? Message this group, see if they want to play together. You know, have some way of connecting people that is social and takes advantage of the PlayStation or Xbox or PS.
How about voice chat being turned on like automatically, like opt out voice chat? How many more people are gonna like talk in strikes and stuff like that?
To your point, Glad, I agree with you. Giving the loot away is not the answer. So I agree with you on that. But I agree with what they were trying to do. I just don't think they did it in the most.
I see the intentions. I just think it was not executed very well.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we can all agree that they foobarred it.
Yeah, there were people in clans who got like a raid weapon. They've never raided, and I had already raided like 3 times, did not get that weapon. I'm like, what the hell?
It's like, imagine, just think about for a second. Imagine logging on to Destiny 1, year 1, and going to a vendor and getting Fatebringer dropped right to you without ever doing like, And but that's the thing.
We got to move on. We got more questions, and we've spent like 15 minutes
we
on
can
this
do
one.
rapid fires.
Let's do there's so many fucking good questions. I don't want to go to the silly ones because there really are good ones this week. Doughboy says, how are you guys going on vault space? I feel like I can finally keep all my armor I get and hold most of the weapons.
I'm already full.
Hoarder.
I've approached max, but I've deleted things. I feel okay deleting some things now.
I have more maneuverability.
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable moving things around.
Yeah, I did fill it up like almost immediately, but that was because I was literally just like not paying attention to anything other than, is this a higher light level? No. Okay. do I recognize it? No. Okay, throw it in the vault for now. I'll deal with it later. But then, like once I had a little more time, I did sort through it, and I've got more open spots. But I am looking forward to like a better solution than the vault, because the vault is just
Good.
I personally have only like 30 things in my vault, and that's like mostly mods and
Wow.
like
I think I got
materials.
30 shaders in my vault right now.
Like anything that I don't use, I just scrap it. I don't bother to keep it really because like I'm not gonna end up using it.
That's crazy. I don't even know you. I don't even understand you. Like I can't get rid of things, man. I just don't know how you do it.
There's no point of having it, so I don't like.
But what if
keep it
it's
around.
good later? What if you like it later? What if you
You just gotta lean on that delete button.
You know what's amazing now?
Oh, speaking of lean on delete. Oh, go
Not
ahead.
a satisfactory answer. Sorry.
What's amazing is that you can actually delete from the vault or the postmaster now. And
That
on
is
top
huge.
of that, you can infuse in there as well. You can even infuse in your vault.
Oh, I didn't know you
Yeah.
could do that.
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I feel like I did that. And I was
Yeah, I
like,
don't-
what? This is crazy.
Nah, I was more pumped about deleting stuff in the postmaster.
But let me ask you, how many of you guys have like when it first came out have accidentally deleted a stack of shaders or deleted a stack of mods or something on accident instead of applying it?
I've done that before. Yeah.
Yes, I just when they made the change and you could do it, I didn't, and I pressed the button and I deleted a whole stack of mods.
Actually, I ended up doing that on PS4 because I forgot which button was apply and which one was delete.
Well, my controller doesn't.
I put it
have
on a keyboard on that thing.
My controller doesn't have the little symbols, and I was just like, nope.
Mr. Goodbite says, as someone who has a harder time with raids and tends to wait before trying them, how high a power level should I be before I attempt this?
I would recommend 361 for this raid.
360.
That low?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you had a team of people that knew what they were doing, I think you could do it at 361.
What if you're going
if
in?
you're-
I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that.
Yeah. What if you're going in with a team that's kind of figuring things out? What light level would you recommend then?
If you're all 361, I probably wouldn't recommend it.
I would definitely say higher for like 376
Yeah, I would definitely try
Like,
and get into
really
the
high.
mid-70s.
or 371.
For sure, that's ideal.
Yeah, let's ideal. Let's ideal it up.
Ideal would be
yeah.
371.
Okay.
I can
But
play
the
the
thing
game,
is,
and
we
what do I
haven't-
gotta get? Can I get to 371 just playing it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good. I'm just asking. Just
yeah.
to give people
Ideal would be 371. Minimum would be 361.
What's the problem, officer says, was there a point in the expansion where you thought to yourself, now this is the Destiny I remember? What moment was that?
Day one for me on that Warmind. I was like, yo, there's things I can chase. There's an exotic sword that I want. I need a grind for sleeper. Yo, I just got an exotic catalyst. This is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
I
you
think when
needed.
I first realized you needed to go chase like 40 of those things to like start the sleeper simulating quest, I was like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
cool.
Yep. When I started seeing things to collect, I was like, all right, cool.
I got the
Yeah.
the catalyst for the hand cannon, the Crimson, like on the first day
Nice.
that I was playing it, and I saw that you had to do like 1,000 precision headshots to unlock it, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
grind.
grind.
It literally happened on the next guy after I killed and completed that. I got the Darcy catalyst
Oh,
to drop,
nice.
like the next kill after that. So now I'm working on that one. It seems to be another 1,000 headshots, I think.
It's like 400 or something.
All right, I think we need to wrap this up, guys. I literally have 6 more pages of questions.
You serious?
We've gone
We were
through
spending
one
like 10
page
to
in
15
like an
minutes
hour.
on every
We're
question.
bad at
They're
questions.
good
Wow.
questions.
Rapid
They're
fire?
all amazing
They're very
questions.
Rapid fire?
questions.
Let's get to the serious ones.
Rapid fire.
Can we do some? We could do some rapid fire to see if we can
All
answer
right.
them at all.
10
I'm
seconds.
going to let this go on for like 5 more minutes, but we still got
Okay.
to do those ad reads at the end of the show.
Okay.
And I got to go to bed at some point.
Yep, that's fine.
All right. Grumpy One says, how do you put on socks? Sit down or hopping on one foot, trying not to fall over? Asking for a friend who has put his back out doing the latter previously.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Yeah, that's the
You guys sit down and lean over Like, or do you bring your foot up, like cross your leg?
Both.
Kind of both.
I would just
I lean down.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm a
know.
lean downer.
I lean down.
I've
Yeah.
never tried to do it like hopping. I've never
No,
tried to put on a
that
sock
sounds-
that way.
When you have kids and there's toys on the ground, you know that is certain death.
Let's see. Chocolate Milk says, if everything you owned was fruit patterned, which fruit would it be?
Watermelon.
Apples, because they're my favorite.
Hmm.
I love watermelon.
Hmm.
I go with
Fruit.
apples.
Hmm.
What was it again? Fruit pattern? If everything was fruit patterned?
Yeah, fruit patterned. All your clothing was fruit patterned.
I have watermelon shorts and shirts. I'm already there.
I'm gonna go with banana.
I'm going to go with pumpkin.
Hmm.
Pumpkin.
Okay.
Pumpkin.
Wonder why.
Interesting.
I cannot think of a fruit that I'd want to wear every day. Pineapple pizza, just to trigger everybody I fucking
Oh.
see.
That's not okay.
I don't know, man. Like it's a really weird question. Caitlin D says, if you could ask Rasputin to make or build you anything, what would it be?
Make what? That's
Make
cool.
or build you anything, what would it be?
The traveler.
The ability to stop time. I don't know if we can do that, but I'm gonna ask. Then I can sleep for longer.
Who are we asking?
Following.
Rasputin.
Rasputin.
Rasputin. Oh.
I assume we can do that. It's probably fine.
Sure. A ship that I could control in the cutscenes or in the.
Yo,
in the-
how about
in
a spaceship?
orbit.
I could go for an IRL spaceship, man. That'd
Yeah, like a real.
and a
dope
sparrow wouldn't
spaceship.
be bad.
I don't want to die in space.
Well, I assume it's going to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, he's made it, right?
There might be aliens trying to kill
Not
me.
a lot
I
of
don't
trust
wanna
in
go
Rasputin.
through.
He is our god now. Don't forget that.
I'll take a Rasputin themed car, a badass sports
Mm.
car.
That's
Looks
a
like
lot
a-
of carbon fiber.
Yeah, it's gonna look dope. That was all
It's
them
gonna look
plates.
amazing.
All right, go.
Biggin says, which one would you scare you more, a Zol-sized bacon baby or a bacon baby with a Rasputin's intelligence?
Whoa.
Oh Jesus, Rasputin intelligence bacon baby. That would be
And,
freaky as hell.
mega bacon
Yeah,
baby,
man.
worm-sized bacon baby would definitely be terrifying.
I don't
Worm-sized
know.
bacon
That
baby would
sounds
be
delicious.
terrifying.
Worm
I'm
size.
assuming it's not
You're
moving
gonna
or
eat-
like
Moldy,
life size.
worm-sized bacon baby.
No, I guess not. But I'd rather have that than an intelligent bacon baby.
Yeah, that freaks me out, man.
Like having that thing walking around, smoking cigarettes, talking
As long
about
as
it.
it's-
Looking at you, going, "Meh, what are you looking at? What are you looking at?"
Man, the Kikos.
Just like looking down at the water bill, like complaining, motherfuckers. Use
I
too much
picked some of
water.
the showers. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds scary.
Ramos Network says, Kirby just swallowed you. What kind of powers did Kirby just acquire?
Kirby's
Interactive.
growing a beard.
Kirby's growing a beard.
He'd lose his beard if he ate me.
Kirby's about to acquire a severe case of ADD and not be able to focus on anything for too long.
Rapidly accelerated.
Sorry, Kirby.
stubbornness.
What you got, Glenn?
I said rapid stubbornness, accelerated stubbornness.
Deep
I
Fried
would say-
Pineapple says,
I-
sorry, go ahead.
I'd say a healthy addiction to coffee.
Yeah.
Deep Fried Pineapple says, you have to give up one of the following three: Destiny, beer, or beards. Long hair for Watts. Which would you choose?
How short are we talking? Bald? Am I being
Let's go
bald?
Sinead O'Connor. Let's go full Sinead.
Ooh.
I mean, we're shaving these things off.
I'm giving up beer
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
because
Me
I'm
too.
I don't drink
gluten-free.
beer. Hey, easy. Easy mode.
I practice keto, so I'm going with beer as well.
Boom.
I don't know what my situation would be. So
He still hasn't gotten his.
I'm shaving the beard right off. This thing is gone. I'm not even going to think about it afterward either. Destiny,
I-
beer, or beard? Goodbye, beard. Adios.
I could go for a nice old fashioned instead of a beer. It's all good.
Easy.
Most interesting Korean says, would you rather play chicken in cars with a roll cage or compete in 3 5-minute rounds in an MMA match?
Chicken.
Probably chicken. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Chicken, yeah.
Do I get to
Yeah.
choose who I'm fighting?
Holtz.
Because I feel like that really makes a big difference here.
But it's DCP versus Bungie, and Holtz is the other one in the roll cage.
MMA.
MMA. I want to punch that Benedict Arnold in the nose.
I feel like in a roll cage it would be a lot of fun against Holtz.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Rapid fire.
Actually, the final question we already answered, so that's it.
Excellent.
That was 6 pages?
Sweet.
He lied to us right there. Is what
No,
he
I
did.
skipped to the stupid fun stuff at the end.
No.
There was 5 pages in between the last question and the first funny question.
You want to pick just one serious question that you skipped that was a good one? We'll end it on that.
Matt Monkey says, is the grind for Redrick's Claymore too steep? I'm on the fence. On the one hand, I like having top tier rewards to grind for, but on the other, it's a pretty hefty time commitment.
Well, they said it was what? The top 40% of players will be able to get it if they just play.
I think the people who've gotten it, haven't they estimated it's 301 matches?
Really?
I
Something
think
like
the
that.
first person who got it took him like 80 something matches.
80?
Yeah, he didn't lose.
He
Yeah.
didn't lose a single time, yeah.
80 something, 81 without the loss. Yeah.
Huh.
I feel like top 40% is pretty reasonable for an exclusive weapon, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Briar Rabbit cutting content.
I haven't.
Are you gonna put that content in next week's podcast? Brian?
No, it's just going to
Tell it
disappear
to him.
forever.
Okay.
Sorry. There were good questions here. Lorenzo Lopez, Julian, Tiny, Big Red. These questions are never going to get answered. I'm so sorry.
I haven't attempted any kind of competitive yet, so I don't know how it is, and I'm looking forward to grind for it. So I can't
I've
say.
played 2 matches and won both of them.
There you go.
There you
Solo
go.
too on PC. Briar's a god.
Brian,
Sign him up.
thank God. You know what? Glad Modern. Congratulations on your world's first, man. That was fun
Seriously.
to watch. And
Congratulations.
you guys are legends in the PvE community. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Yeah, thank you
For
so
having
much,
me.
guys.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
guys.
thank you so
It was
much for
awesome
having us
having
on.
This is you, Tefty.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Since starting in. Got it. You can that's the podcast. Thank you very much for listening and watching. You can find me at Teft on Twitter if you want to further the discussion of being a pumpkin IRL because of choosing that fruit. You can catch my streams twitch.tv/TeftyTeft. I usually start around 6 p.m. Pacific time, Friday through Wednesday. And I have a YouTube channel that gets some love every now and then.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on Briar Rabbit at the Briar Rabbit on Twitter. You can talk to me over there. I'm totally distracted right now. Just look up Briar Rabbit.
I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just search for Miss 5000 Watts.
Glad?
Oh, I get to do this too?
Yes, you
Hell
do.
yeah.
Oh, I'm glad. My Twitter is actually xgiad, GIADD, and then Glad on YouTube as well, so you can find me there.
And what kind of content would they find?
Oh, and Twitch is xglad with an L. I'm all over the place because people are stealing Glad everywhere. So Twitch is
We'll link all your stuff in the description, so they'll be
that
able to
works.
click down below.
Content is just high-level Destiny PvE content.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
And the next up is the 3-man Raidler.
That is what we're working on. Yeah.
All
that is
right,
what we're
cool.
working.
Modern, you're up.
Modern Charherd on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter as well.
That wasn't taken.
No.
That's awesome.
I made the name back like almost like 2014, 2013, around there.
Nice.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, and same thing. PVE equipment, PVE content, some soloing stuff. I heard you do speed runs. You got some world records.
Yeah, especially for Destiny 1. Not so much for Destiny 2, since I really haven't been doing it that much.
Right.
Cool.
All right. Well, and this has been Pope Pear. You can find me on Twitter at Pope Pear, and make sure to follow the podcast at DCP_live. The links will all be in the description below. I want to give a shout out to our patrons who have stood by us and made it possible for us to create the content that you're seeing today. We really, truly appreciate your love and support, and all the Twitch subscribers. You guys make it possible for us to do this every week, and we really appreciate it. Up next week is Dr. Lupo. He's going to be on the show, and we're going to talk about what's going on in his life. I hear he's been doing some things over in Fortnite, but he's also been playing some Destiny too as well. And we want to hear how his thoughts of how he's appreciated or enjoyed Destiny. So we're looking forward to having him on. And then the following week, we're going to end out the month with Anubis and Farcog, and we're going to talk about now that we have private matches, we're going to be talking about some tournaments that are coming up and some of the rule sets that they've been kind of bringing together within the Sweat community. So if you're listening to us on iTunes, make sure to rate it. If you're listening to us on YouTube, leave a comment down below. Really enjoy it and appreciate it. And you guys have a very great week.
Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. We are going to show the credits and then be back to read some subs afterwards for the stream and raid someone. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.